Welcome, everybody, to World's Biggest Collectors, the show where we bring on the biggest physical media collectors in the Instagram, YouTube, and social media spaces. And I have with me tonight a very special guest. He is a great horror YouTuber, does all kinds of awesome horror-based content on his channel. He is a big-time collector as well. And I am so excited to bring him in right now. Mr. Christian Hanna Horror, CHH himself, is here tonight joining me on World's Biggest Collectors. This is crazy, man. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm fantastic. I'm ready to rock and roll tonight. I'm hoping we'll get some wild questions. It's all on the record tonight. So
I only have the
you know,
craziest bunch that joins me every Tuesday night, so that should be interesting to say the least. But I have to point out, man, it's not my favorite nightmare film, but I know that it's yours. So I put the school bus from Freddy from Nightmare 2 in the background right here. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
it's funny. I didn't, but now I see it, and I really appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Chef's
Yeah.
kiss for that.
And I got another surprise for you a little bit later. But yeah, I know that
Thank
Nightmare 2 is your favorite. It's not one of mine, but I love that school bus sequence at the beginning of it. That's like one of my favorites ever, like in any horror film.
Oh yeah.
And then it goes downhill a little bit for me after that. But what I love about your channel and watching your content, because I've been watching you on YouTube for probably about a year now,
hmm
probably like last October, is just the way you talk about horror films in such a positive way. And it forces me to think, is that movie as bad as I thought it was? And then like it kind of makes me want to go back and watch Nightmare 2 in kind of like a new light.
Uh-huh.
Um, and see if I like it any better. So, but I am going to give you the chance, man, to kind of promote yourself and your channel and let everybody know what you're all about over there at Christian Hanna Horror. So the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah. So Christian Hannah Horror. Most of my friends have just started to adopt calling me CHH. So I see Ben Grimm in the chat already. That's become my moniker, I guess. Just I'll do a lot of Blu-ray reviews. Love horror. Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm a Nightmare on Elm Street nut. Which if you watch any 9 times out of 10, if I do a video, it doesn't matter what it is, somehow Freddy makes his way into the into the video. Um, I'm also a musician. I got a band called Cold Canyons. You could find my band on Spotify, iTunes, etc. Um, and just a horror fan, man. I love physical media. Been collecting physical media since hell, I guess 2009 or 10, and it's been quite a journey. I guess I've been doing YouTube for just shy of a decade, which seems insane. We're coming up on a decade pretty soon, which I can't imagine I've done anything for 10 years without stopping, besides breathing. So this is it's wild to know to be still be here doing this and making friends, doing YouTube and everything. So that's me. That's me. And you could find me on Instagram. Just if you type in Christian Hannah Horror, 9 times out of 10, you'll find me on whatever social platform it is. I think my Twitter handle is Horror Hannah. On Instagram, it's Christian Hannah Horror. And I think I'm deleting my Facebook because I never use it and I don't like it. So,
I haven't been on Facebook since like 2013, I think.
mm,
Um, but
I'm right
yeah,
behind you.
I do have all of your links down below in the description. I did find you on Twitter. It was it was hard for me to find first because you are under a different name on there. But I do have your Twitter down there. I've got your Instagram and I've got your YouTube. So everybody in the chat right now, definitely follow and sub up to CHH. And yeah, man, like I said, I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to talk horror. I don't, always talk horror on this channel, but it's definitely the genre that gets me the most fired up and the most passionate.
Sure.
I feel like it's the one that's been with me for the longest. I've been watching horror since it's like 8 or 9 years old. Like in it, much like you, because I've heard you talk about it. It all started with Freddy for me as well.
Ooh,
Um,
very nice.
at a very young age. I think it was Dream Master was the first one that I watched.
Lovely.
So that's yeah. I enter horror franchises. I find like at the fourth one a lot of times because the first Halloween I ever saw was Halloween 4. Uh, so it's but that's just what you enter into, I guess. What you find at the video store and all that.
hmm
But let me get into the chat a little bit because I don't want to ignore them. We do have 44 people in here right now watching us. I appreciate everybody spending their Tuesday night with us. We got Chandler right here. Says, "Hey everyone, how are you doing tonight? What's up, Chandler?" Basement Blues in the house. He said, "It is great to see Christian here. I have been subbed to him for about 7 years now." Wow,
Thank you.
you guys are some OGs of YouTube. Chase Wilson's here. He says, "Good evening, everybody." What's up, Chase? My Killer Podcast here says, "Hey, what's up, everyone?" Don Morton says, "Greetings, programs." Phil's Creepy Videos in the house. What is up, Phil? Happy to have you here, buddy. Phil was actually on the second episode of World's Biggest Collectors. I need to get him on again at some point. It's your buddy Phil here, his tagline. John McMeany says, "Was hard money-wise, but I did manage to get all 5 Halloween 4K orders." Okay.
Very nice.
Gotcha. Tiana Loves Movies is here. Says, "Hey, what everybody?" Secular Monks here. Ben Grimm says, "CHH." Blu-ray Nate says, "Hey, everyone." Della Movie says, "What's up?" Kal-El Daily says, "Gotta say, I thought it was the worst nightmare as a kid, but it sure did age well amongst ages, the best out of the bunch. It's like an Elseworld story when you look at it the way it makes you appreciate it." Yeah, what is it about Nightmare 2 that kind of draws you to it? Is it the fact that it is so much different than the other ones?
Oh boy. It really is hard to sometimes articulate it. What I love about Nightmare 2 is in a sense, one way I can describe it is it's kind of like my new nightmare. That Freddy is you never see that kind of Freddy ever again in any of those movies
No.
to that sinister and dark of a level. So I always loved that performance that Robert gave in that movie. It's so dark. That Freddy's not funny at all. I love my funny Freddy, don't get me wrong. I just love it, man. I kind of just dig that even though it's part 2, they were just like, screw those rules. Falling asleep, screw that. To hell with that.
Yeah.
Let this son of a bitch come out of this kid in real life. Let him possess him. It's got that to me, and I know this isn't a great way to describe it, but it has that X factor to it. That it's not the most well made. It's certainly the worst edited of the bunch. It's choppy. They reuse some shots of Grady and Jesse doing the planks outside, which was obviously reused when it was supposed to be a whole different occasion. So they should have had different clothes on and stuff like that. But it's just weird. And I'm a punk rocker, and I love weird shit. So Nightmare 2, it's my jam, dude. I just love it.
Yeah.
It's the best. That's the scariest Freddy to me out of all of them.
I don't hate the movie. It's just when I was a kid, it just bothered me that they broke all the rules for the universe. I was like, "That's Freddy can't come out to the real world like this." And then
I
he starts
understand that.
killing people that's obviously like he was killing adults, and they didn't. Their parents didn't kill him. Like that was part of the rules that were established. So it was just always confusing to me how he came out in the real world and he was killing people that, um, weren't the Elm Street children, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess you watch it like you might watch Halloween 3, just a different kind of Freddy movie.
That's a way to put it. Good way to put it.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the TV show, The Freddy's
Uh,
Nightmares?
I used to find episodes on YouTube back around 2013 a lot, and it
Yeah.
seems like it's kind of gotten harder to find some of them. I think they still might have some, but I know it wasn't great. But as a sucker for Freddy, I would love to watch his episodes just to see the little wraparounds with Robert Englund in it and stuff. And I vividly remember him sticking his head out of a deep fryer in an episode that
Yeah.
really made me chuckle.
He was in
S-
the entire first episode, if I remember correctly. And then
the
after that, he
pilot,
was in
yeah.
he was in, he was like the Crypt Keeper or something, Tales from the Crypt. I remember watching it when I was a kid. I think it was on Sci-Fi, as I think it was was it on something else?
No, I was gonna say,
That and Friday the 13th. I
I
know
wouldn't
Friday the
be,
13th was
yeah.
on Sci-Fi.
I wouldn't have been surprised. I actually like the Friday 13th show a little bit too. The couple episodes of that I really dug.
Yeah, they used the guy from Jason Goes to Hell, which I
Yeah.
thought was interesting. Um, but he says, "Guys, ready for Chucky?" Yeah, I couldn't have picked a more perfect time to have you on the channel, Christian, because we're right in the middle of the Halloween 4Ks. Halloween Kills is coming out this weekend. Chucky debuts tonight on I think it's a USA. It's a USA
Y-
or Sci-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of both, but I think tonight is the USA premiere.
Yep, and then we got a Scream trailer today. So it's like all
It's
this
wild.
horror stuff just like circling around. No Jason or Freddy, unfortunately. But are you ready for Chucky? I have a bit of a problem as I don't have cable right now, so I'm trying to figure out a way to watch it.
I guess I am. I don't want to get too too negative, but I do have concerns that Don Mancini's just going to take this thing so make it so outlandish very quickly that it's going to be hard to wrap my head around a lot of it.
Yeah,
I watched him give an interview on the post mortem probably 2 years ago, almost with Mick Garris, and he talked about, yeah, I'm going to bring back a lot of the characters that I love, including Glenn and Glenda from Seed of Chucky and stuff like that. I want to involve all this, and et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know. I'm not going to criticize anything until I see it, and once I see it, I can start giving my honest feedback on it. But
yeah.
it's got a lot of people happy, and I think that's really cool. So hell yeah, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, because I watched your ranking of Child's Play. Me and you are kind of on the same page with a lot of them. I think I like Bride of Chucky a little less than you because I put the first three in my top three. I would go three original and then the second one.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I hated Seed and I didn't like Called at all. Probably it was about the same level as Seed for me, and I thought Curse was okay. I liked how they brought back the regular Chucky that wasn't all stitched up, but then by the end of the movie, he's all stitched again, right? Because it was like covering his face or something,
yeah. It was like it was
or like he
makeup
put it on.
prosthetics on a doll.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't like Stitch Chucky that much. To be honest, I like Bride of Chucky when I was a kid. But to me, that just signified a shift in that
big
franchise that
shift.
I wasn't on board with. I guess I like Chucky doing his one liners and being silly, but he's just too silly in those ones. He's not scary anymore, and I like my Chucky to be a little bit scary.
Sure, sure.
Craig Thompson says, "Have you seen trailer for Scream 5 and your thoughts on it?" Well, you did a reaction on it. I did a reaction on it with my wife, and I think you were pretty high on it, right?
I just think it looks like it's going to be a different shade of gray because it's not Wes making this, and maybe it's the trailer that portrayed it in a much more serious light than it is, and if that's so, great job on making a good trailer.
Yeah,
But they got me, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
yeah. I just have to see those characters back again in those roles, and I'm sold. That's all I need. I didn't even really need to watch it, but yeah, it is
I'm a
nice
Courtney
seeing that
Cox
again.
guy. I get a lot of shit for that. I love me some Courtney Cox, man. That was
Oh
my
yeah,
girl. I love her. That's my favorite character from Friends.
Friends is a,
You
a
know,
great show. And yeah, Gail Weathers, it's a great character. It's a great character.
just don't have
Uh,
the haircut from 3 for God's sake.
what are your thoughts on three? Because I've heard you talk about Scream, and you're not like the biggest Scream fan
uh,
outside the first one. I think I heard you say
dude,
once.
you know, I like Scream's great. I would never try to say Scream's a bad movie because
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point when there's millions of people that love a movie, it's like, okay. I mean, sometimes
Is
everybody's
it
got their
kind of like
opinion,
that
but
situation for you where it just gets talked about so much? It's kind of like Marvel or something where it's just kind of you're over it.
that's it's weird because I feel like if I could talk about like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie every day, I feel like it's a little hypocritical for me to
Yeah.
say, "Can we stop talking about Scream, etc." But you, I don't know. I feel like I just don't like to revisit Scream as much as I like to revisit a lot of its imitators. Like
Yeah.
I dig Urban Legend and I dig
That's my
you know
favorite of all the Scream imitators is Urban Legend.
yeah, I watch that a lot. But I don't know. If we watched Scream right now together, I'd have a great time.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
I'd
a
have
great
a
movie.
I'd have a great time. I like the second one a lot. There was a time where I would say that was my favorite one, but
The second one's
hap
my favorite horror sequel, I would say. I think it's the best horror sequel.
yeah, I just I'm gonna try to do some black magic tonight to try to figure out a way if I can get Jamie Kennedy back into this new movie because I
Oh,
fell in love with him after his YouTube channel. I found
yeah.
his YouTube channel and I was
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
him.
he's great.
I love him.
I
So,
love Malibu's Most Wanted. I saw that in senior year in high
oh,
school
dude,
in the theater, and it
I
was so much fun.
great movie. I was thinking about this in my head earlier. I was like, okay, so he died in 2, but did we see his funeral in the movie? And what if he was hiding out and that VHS tape of him talking to him in 3? What if he's not really dead? Maybe there's a chance he's going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know.
I hated that he killed him in the second one, but also like I was in the theater watching that movie. I was 12. My sister took me to see it. She got me into the rated R movie. Because back then you had to be a parental guardian to get somebody in. So she acted like she was my parent. Um, and it was a big deal in the theater. Like people were gasping. My sister was crying, like because she loved that character so much, and like people were going nuts. So it sucked, but it was a ballsy move by Wes, I think, to do that, and to do it in broad daylight, just right in the middle of the movie. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, I'll save you my rant because I don't rant about much, but I'll save you my rant. Just say that I don't like that. That's the only part of that movie. As I've gotten older, I was just like, really, the only person that would have been way too smart to do anything like that. I can understand it could be a lapse in judgment, but damn it, I want Randy back.
Yeah,
You know,
he's so good in the first one. I love everybody in the first one though, like Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, like they're all so good. That whole sequence, I just remember laughing my ass off when I was a kid with them stabbing each other in the kitchen. It's such a great scene.
I tell you, man, get that laser disc of it. It's uncut and it is sick. I mean, they stab each other even more in the uncut version of it.
Dude, they I need to because I know is the 4K supposed to have the uncut, right? Did I read
I
that
don't think
wrong?
I don't think it is.
Damn.
I
Yeah, I've heard
remember
you talk
an
about it before,
article
and I don't
came
think I've
out.
seen it.
Yeah, an article came out, and like 3 days later, there was another article that completely said, "No, this is not true. It's not uncut." And Paramount, now that they got I think they bought the movie from Miramax or something to that effect. I don't think Paramount would ever. They don't seem like the kind of company that really cares to do that kind of stuff. I could be wrong. I'm praying I'm wrong. I want the movie on 4K. My wife loves it. My wife's name is Sydney too, so
Yeah,
she wants it. So we're gonna get it on 4K. But I always got my laser disc, and I always watch it that way because I love the uncut. Or excuse me, the director's cut is what it's called version of it.
yeah. Is Sydney your favorite final girl? Would you say?
Oh, no way, no way.
No way.
I'm gonna get a
That
lot of shit for this. She's got no personality. I like somebody with some
yeah.
personality. That's why Courtney Cox is my favorite person in the movie. Now, Sydney is a great.
Could you even call
She's
Sydney a final girl if Courtney Cox is with her every step of the way? Because it isn't like both of them are kind of final girls.
Sure, I'll take that. I just like I like spunky personality. I like people with
Yeah,
attitude and shit. So that's why I like Courtney or Gail Weathers in the movie. Nev is so uh the character of Nev of Sidney Prescott, she's so reachable to many people because she doesn't do anything to piss off the average person with anything she says or does in the movies. I totally get that and I see why she's a fan favorite, but she is
yeah,
no personality Nev to me. That's what I've always
yeah.
called her. No personality Nev.
That's fair. That's fair. We got Born to Be Rad in here. Says, "What's up, boys? What's up, man? I appreciate you having me on your channel Sunday night. That was kind of crazy. I was in there, same as with you right now because I'm such a big fan of Pizzal too. I was like, and I was thinking about it. And I was like, I'm right next to Pizzal on his stream, and then the next night he's interviewing the director of Halloween 4, and I'm like, how crazy is that? Just a surreal moment for me.
Crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great interview too. I watched that today that he did with him. Uh, very, very awesome. Cal Daly says, that's funny, Ken. I might have entered at Halloween 4 and Nightmare 4, LOL, and Friday Part 4. Now, Friday, I think, God, it's hard for me to remember what the first Friday film I watched was. I don't know. It might have been the first one. It might have been the first
Mine
one.
was.
Yeah, it's Jason Goes to Hell. I remember watching very young. Um, But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to remember all those. I think I rented them off from the video store then. Della Movie says favorite slashers of the last 10 years. Is that kind of a tough question because they don't have a lot of pure slashers anymore. I feel like, um, unless you're
I mean,
talking about a reboot.
I really liked. I guess you could excuse me on my definition of a slasher film because you know people can get. Your Next was a movie I really liked. If
I
you want
was
to
gonna
call
bring that
that
one up.
one,
I was like, would you
yeah.
consider that a slasher?
And I'm cheating a little bit because it was 2008, but one of my favorite theater experiences I ever had was The Strangers. People were running out of the theater for The Strangers. That was so fun.
Yeah, I don't think I got to see that one in theaters. I saw the sequel in theaters. I didn't see the first one, I don't think.
Love the second one too.
Yeah, the second one was a lot of fun. I don't remember too much about the first one. It has been since probably 2008 since I've seen it. Horror, not horror. What'd you say? Man, I'm so happy I'm not into horror. The amount of stuff they put out is insane. Yeah, if you're talking about physical media. My Killer Podcast. Hey, Kellogg Daily. Hey guys, long time watcher, first time commenter. What's up, everybody? What's up, Austin? How you doing, man? Sam Thomason says going to be watching Chucky tonight. Do you plan to watch that at all?
I may watch it tonight. It just depends on what all I feel like doing. I may film something. I may watch the Chucky show. I don't know.
Yeah,
Within the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm sure I will.
yeah. The Freddy remake is a nightmare. Yeah, that is. I've only seen that one time, and I have not watched it again. I hate Nightmare 5. I don't mind Nightmare 5. I like all those. The 1, 3, 4, and 5 because they tell like a complete story together. I like them all. Nightmare 2 had the best looking Freddy. Kevin Yeager's makeup was so wicked. Yeah, he's dark. He's like evolved to be darker in Nightmare 2. Honestly, that makes sense. Let's see. Maurice Glacier said, did you watch Chucky TV show? What's up, gang? Freddy 2 is a unique one. I do love the scene where Freddy comes out of the kid. Freddy 4 for me is the best, but New Nightmare was the scariest to me. William Ward says, watch Jason Goes to Hell for the second time last night. To be honest, I didn't hate it like I remembered I had. Jason Goes to Hell for me is top 3. I love that movie. It's been with me for a really long time.
I love hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love I really do. I love I'm not a massive fan of the Nightmare remake, but like for the Fridays, I really love all of them. I could watch every single one of them every day if I had to. Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell. I love Jason Goes to Hell.
Yep.
So freaking much. I love it. One of my favorite scenes is when Adam Marcus is as the cop walks up to the Bruce Campbell lookalike. He's like, "Hey," and he keeps his hand straight just like this as he's walking to him.
Yeah.
And then he gets grabbed just by the shirt, and like he doesn't do it. It was like professional wrestling. I mean, it really was. It's like professional wrestling where Adam just gets launched over the desk. I just laughed my ass off.
There's so many things I love about that movie. And as a kid, like, I don't know, I guess I didn't think too much about it, but I love the body jumping aspect of it. How he was like a different person all throughout the movie. And then it just made like him showing up at the very end, jumping out of that basement, just all the more satisfying because you were waiting the whole movie for him to come back. And I just love that movie. I love the scene where they're in the prison with Creighton Duke and they're breaking each other's fingers.
What the hell is going on in this movie? I just love it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of the best to me. I love the opening to it. It's, him just eating the hearts. Like I remember watching that movie when I was probably like 10 or 11. And just seeing that girl getting split in half in the tent. Like it was just,
it was money.
I've always loved it. I really enjoy your videos, Christian. Do you guys have a top 3 4K discs? Do you have a top 3 4Ks?
Thank you very, very much. Off the top of my head, I would definitely say my number 1 is probably The Shining.
Yeah.
Jaw-dropping experience watching that. I'm actually going to surprise some people here. My number 2 is Starship Troopers. I
did not get that
movie.
One.
I bought it cheap at Walmart. It was like $8, and my wife was like, "Christian, look, I know you, because look, I don't just watch horror movies. I really don't. So that shocks some people. I'm a Back to the Future is probably my number 3. I love that trilogy set. But number 2 is Starship Troopers, and she said, "Christian, that's one of my favorite movies. It's really good. Have you seen it?" I was like, it looks like a Star Trek silly movie. She goes,
"It's so good.
Stop being a fool. Get Starship Troopers." I bought the movie. I was like, this is literally the greatest thing I've never seen before, and I'm such a jackass for not have
Yeah.
watched Starship Troopers. So I haven't seen the sequels, and I'm hesitant just because
I
that
haven't
movie is
either.
perfect. That movie is so perfect to me that I just want it to live in its own. So I haven't watched the sequels, but that 4K looked amazing, and even
Really.
with the
I
CGI,
need to own it. I don't know why I don't. That's
it's
one of
dirt
my favorite
cheap.
movies.
Get on it, dude.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
That's
Starship
one of
Troopers
those
number two,
movies that I know frontwards, backwards. I probably watched it 50 times on VHS when I was a kid. I love that movie.
money. It's
Um,
money.
so yeah, I'm glad that you said that. What did you think of the Scream 5 trailer? Well, we already talked about that a little bit. Nightmare 2 is light years beyond Halloween 3. I was
Damn.
excited to get my copy of Columbia Classics Volume 2 today. Looking forward to seeing some classic films this weekend. Yeah, I got mine today, so I didn't get my Halloween 4Ks, but I got my Columbia Classics set on time. So I'll be watching Taxi Driver in 4K soon. So I'm excited about that.
Ooh. Can I ask you
Um,
what all is in that set? I saw you. I did see
oh,
you got that as
I,
well.
it's got Stripes in there. It's got The Social Network,
Oh
Anatomy
my
of a
god,
Murder. Yeah,
Stripes,
yeah, Stripes is in
dude.
there with Bill. There's some random ones. There's some random
Hell
ones in
yeah,
there.
that's what I'm talking about.
But I like
Stripes
that
is
kind of
fun. I
stuff.
mean,
I like stuff that there's some stuff I've never even heard of before, like some classic films, like
you know,
Oliver, Anatomy of a Murder. I've never heard of those movies. Sense and
Taxi
Sensibility.
Driver is gonna look good.
Yeah, that's why I got it. Like I would have paid $100 to watch Taxi Driver in 4K, so that's like the main reason I got the thing. I wish
Hell
they would have
yeah,
done a standalone. But those sets, like the packaging on those sets, like nothing physical media wise beats those. Like it's so nice. It's like
yeah, it's
leather,
great.
and you open them up, they all have their own slip covers. So
Very
yeah, it's
cool.
awesome. Let's see. Saw the first Nightmare in dual cinema back in '84. Was only 13, so my friend's brother was our key to getting in. Love Brad Dorf came back for Chucky. Yeah. What's up, dudes? The Lost River Driving is here. Your partner Nick is here. What's up, man? Cal Daly says, I'm worried that Don Mancini is just going to use it to push his agenda, but Chucky is my guy, and I gotta support it. Hope it's good. How do you feel about the remake? You like the remake, right?
It's fine. It's
Uh,
fine. You know,
I kind
just
of
let
like
it.
that Chucky learned violence from Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
probably
yeah,
my
yeah. There were
favorite part
certain.
about it.
Yeah, there were some cool moments, and I love that when the Blu-ray came out, it was released under the Orion label. I was like, man, that's a
Yeah,
throwback.
and it was just far gorier than I thought it was going to be too. And
Yeah,
some pretty good gore scenes in it. Let's see. We do have 74 people in here right now, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, definitely hit that like button and hit up all of Christian's links in the description down below. His YouTube, his Instagram, his I don't think do you have a letterbox? You have a letterbox, don't you?
I do actually have a letterbox. Just
I
look up
wish I would have put that down there.
CHH. I think it's no big deal. If you
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram, my stories, I usually share it, and I think you can click on it. But you'll if they want to find me, I'm sure they'll find me.
Yeah, Pops Movie Dungeon is here. He says, "Hey guys, what's up, man?" Tim Talks Talkie says, "Hello everyone." Slightly late joining. Let's see. Will they bring back the darker tone and Curse of Chucky? Yeah, they did. I would say they brought back a little bit of the darker tone in that one. Don Mancini is the force behind Chucky, but it feels like he has too much creative control at times. He needs a producer to rein him in a little bit. Hate to be that guy, but the trailer was so underwhelming. Hope it's good, and I think Scream 2 is the worst. Really? Really? Scream 2 is the worst. I don't know if I can get behind your opinion there, Cal. I totally agree with you about Courtney Cox, my favorite Sex Hucks Pop Culture Cafe. I agree, Cal L. Let's see. My wife is in here. Hey, guys. Married with Media. What is up? Happy to be here. Randy is the killer Christian, not Stu. No black magic necessary.
I hope he
You
didn't
think?
just spoil the movie for everybody.
I hope not. I might be upset about that.
I'll give him
Uh,
$5 if he's right.
Scream is an all-time great for me. Honestly, a definite top 10, possibly top 5 in all genres. Let's see. Watch the 25th anniversary of Scream in theaters Monday. I was surprised at how much Halloween references were in that. They show the movie at the party, play the tone when they show the killer. Yeah, that was the first time I watched Halloween was through Scream. I watched Scream before I saw Halloween. Because I saw Halloween 4 first. It's hard for me to remember the timeline of everything, but I know I watched Halloween 4 first. Then maybe I watched Scream and then saw the first one in that one, then watched the first one. I don't remember, but I know I saw it first in that movie. CHH in the house. Careful around your eyes, says S'mores indoors. Don't know what he
Inside
means.
joke.
Kelladis says, yeah, there are versions of VHS Scream that was uncut. Mine wasn't when it was out to DVD. And Blue, I watched and it felt different.
Mm-hmm.
Thrill Kill says, what's up? What is up, Thrill Kill? Courtney for sure always wished she gotten to play Lois Lane. I didn't know she was up for Lois Lane. I'm getting ready for the Chucky TV series tonight. Tiana Lazunu says, who do you guys think the killer of Scream 5 might be? You think it's somebody that we don't know yet?
I think Stu is going to be involved one way or the other, but he's certainly not going to be alone. And if it's not him, it's going to be. There's somebody from this first movie showing up. It's got to be.
You think it's going to be Lillard?
I want it to be, but then again, wouldn't that be too on the nose? Or would they want you to start thinking way outside the box? Because 4 kind of threw you for a loop. And in 3, there was no way to guess because you don't know that dude was the brother to begin with. So I'm almost wondering if they're going to hide in plain sight in this movie. Because I would think most hardcore fans are like, Stu's coming back, or I don't know.
How are they going to bring Stu back? Are they going to say that he didn't get electrocuted when the TV fell on his head? Or
well, the CPR people acted quick off camera or something.
I just don't get how you bring Stu back unless it's a situation where, like a Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and it's like the actors in the movie instead. I don't know,
dude. We'll see.
I kind of would like that change of pace. I really hope that the opening that they showed in the trailer is not the real opening of the movie. I'll say that. I hope they do something different with it. Kelladilla says, you're right. Sydney seems to force her lines a lot in those movies, and we chuck it to her from sarcasm and the fact that we like her. But you're right, CHH. Yeah, you blew my mind there because she's my favorite final girl. Blew my mind. I'm gonna have to look at Sydney differently now.
Well, I understand that. I really do. Like, she's very like the average person that watches those movies. Like, she rides fine lines and doesn't say or do anything that would irritate anybody from basically any walk of life. But to me, she's just no personality, Nev. She's gorgeous. I don't think she's a bad actor at all. Yeah. I like her, but she's just not my favorite character.
Yeah. I understand. Remake of Freddy has a great opening scene, but just declines right after that. How do they open the remake? I forget. Is it the same as the original?
It was a diner scene, and the guy... There's a shot of a guy who's wakes up in the middle of the cafe, but he's sleepwalking. And Freddy basically grabs his hand and puts a knife through his neck and cuts his throat. But the girl just sees him cutting his throat, kind of thing.
So they tried to recreate like Nightmare 4, I guess, with the
something like
pizza
that.
And the meatball. Rick, you little meatball.
No meatball. No pizza involved, but yeah.
Let's see. Agree on Friday, says Born to be Rad. Jason Goes to Hell top 2 for me. Yeah, I said it. Also watched remake last night and I didn't hate it like I remembered. Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell was top 2 for me, but I rewatched the 4th one again. I just think that one's too good. The second one's my favorite. I love Baghead Jason. He's my favorite Jason. Hey guys, just stopping by to say hi. Says Tony's Movies and More. What's up, man? How you doing? Dead Pit Radio's in the house. What's up, guys? Says Christian's bandana is channeling some 1984 Macho Man Randy Savage. What's cracking, young fellas?
Oh yeah.
There you go. There you go. You're a big wrestling fan, or used to be, right? Was Macho Man your favorite?
Bret Hart. Bret Hart's my number one favorite wrestler of all time. I love Bret. But Macho Man's he's at least top 5. Yeah. Macho Man was the best.
Yeah. Yes, sir. What's up, Tony's Movies and More? Let's see. Do you like The Last Dragon, 1985? Have you seen that movie?
I don't think I have.
That sounds like a Van Damme movie. Yeah, he's always coming in here asking me, like, what's my favorite 1910s movie? And I have not seen any movies in the 1910s yet. Maybe one day. The Thing movies ranked. Can you rank the Thing movies?
I certainly can.
Is it that hard?
I mean, the prequel is my least favorite. I love to death The Thing from Another World. I love that movie.
It's like a classic monster movie.
I wish more people my age would watch it, but nobody will. I try. I can't get anybody to watch it, and it
Yeah, I got
breaks my heart. Am I
That Warner Archive
Warner
release a couple years
Archive?
ago.
It's great. It's great. I love that movie so much. It's different. I love that there's women in the movie, for God's sakes, but
Yeah.
it's I love The Thing from Another World so much. As I've gotten older, I've started to reach into Hammer. I've started to reach into those types of movies. The Thing from Another World is one of the best old movies. I love it so much. I almost want to make that my number one, but I'm not. I'm going to make John's number one. But The Thing from
It's
Another
just so
World,
good.
people, please, please watch The Thing from Another World.
Yeah, I agree. I would go the exact same ranking as you. I forget how good The Thing is, John Carpenter's, before I watch it every time. And then when I'm done watching, I'm like, that's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah,
It's
it's got
like,
that effect on you. Yeah.
but then it cools off a little bit. But it's in my top 10 for sure. I love Jason Goes to Hell. 4K transfers. Terminator Dark Fate looks so good, and Casino is crazy good, but I need to see Total Recall. I hear good and bad things. Total Recall was awesome. I loved that movie and the transfer on it. I thought it was pretty great. Casino was awesome too. What's your thoughts on Terminator Dark Fate?
Terminator
Good
Dark
Terminator
Fate,
sequel?
that was the one that came out a couple years ago, right?
Yeah,
Just a couple years
2019.
ago? I didn't ha I thought I thought I was not gonna like it at all, and I looked at my wife, we got done, and I was like, "That was way better than Genesis."
Oh
You
yeah. Oh
know?
yeah.
I love that I loved seeing Arnold become like a half-ass human,
Hmm.
getting the groceries out of the car and stuff. I was like, "Okay, thank
Yeah,
you." Thank you. I thought Genesis was just,
that was terrible.
I I I really wanted to like this. I'm one of those people. This is one of the most common things people say, but damn it, Terminator 2 is probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
It's in my top 10 of
I'm
all time.
shocked. I'm shocked that Terminator 2 has just not been remade. Terminator has not been remade yet. Like I really am shocked because I almost want that, but thankfully I didn't think Dark Fate was that bad because I was thinking to myself, just please, let's just remake it instead of making worse sequels. Like, let's just
Yes.
remake it, do something weird, different. But thankfully, Dark Fate, I was like, that was a step in the right direction. Some kick-ass action.
Yeah.
So Dark Fate, it
I
gets a
like
thumbs
Dark
up from
Fate.
me.
A lot of it's easily the third best in the whole franchise to me, and I think what it turned a lot of people off is what happens in the first 5 minutes with John Connor and Edward
Oh
Furlong.
man,
That,
that
that
pissed
pissed a
me
lot of
off.
people off.
I was pissed, but then again,
Yeah,
I was like, well, at least I got to see the little bastard in this movie for a minute.
yeah. You know what's funny about that franchise? I grew up with Terminator 2, and that was the only one I ever watched. And I didn't watch the first Terminator until like 5 years ago. And it was just one of my favorite movies ever. And I heard that Arnold was a bad guy in the first one, and I just never wanted to watch it because I never wanted to see him not as the hero. So I never watched it growing up. And
Yeah,
I finally broke down and watched it a few years ago, and I loved it. It's
yeah.
great. Um, Best 20s horror movies. Have you seen any horror movies in the 20s? Have you made it back that far yet?
I have, but I can't. Movie buff, I'm really sorry. I'll describe this to you very, very quickly. It's this Japanese silent film. I think it's Japanese. Excuse me on the very specific denomination, but I remember it's this silent film, and there's this weird, creepy moon in the sky with like this weird smiling face, and these people that are kind of just dancing, and it's like it's a silent film, but there's music. So I guess that's what you call it. If anybody will know it, I just have a feeling it's gonna be movie buff. But my wife showed me this movie, and it's really creepy. But it's like a silent film, but there's this music pieces and this weird cult looking thing. I try to have to find the name of it, but it was creepy as hell.
Yeah,
I'm sure that was the 20s. I'm sure
I
that was the
know
20s.
Nosferatu's in the 20s, and then Haxan. Those are two of the only ones I know of off the top of my head, and I have not seen them. But I did order Nosferatu in the Kino sale, so I'm going to be getting it soon.
Very nice.
Cal Daly says Starship Troopers low key classic, and I've never seen none of the sequels. Eternal Melancholy is here. Says hi all. Is anyone going to order the Howling 4K? Just pre-order the Steelbook from Zabi. The price hurt, but I'm a super fan of that movie.
I was waiting to see if the U.S. was getting that.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I've heard that it was supposed to at some point, and I would love a nice steel book of that
Me
as well. Did
too.
Scream Factory ever do a steel book of that?
They did a 4K scan. I'm pretty sure it's a
The
4K
one
scan.
I have is in the freaking double pack with the fog. That's the edition I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got it at Walmart in a bin one time,
Right.
and I have
Yeah, I've
not
got the
upgraded
steelbook of
yet.
The Howling.
Yeah, I like Holly. I remember watching all those movies when I was younger, and I just didn't remember liking the movies at all. But I watched the first one again, I think last year. I thought it was pretty good. I still like American Werewolf a little bit more, but let's see. Do you like the Timber? I don't know what the Timber is. Baby Herman's in the house. Who is your favorite character, not Jason, and Kill in the Friday the 13th franchise?
What's up, baby Herman? Good to see you.
What's your thoughts on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, real quick?
One of the greatest movies ever.
That's my number 11 movie of all time.
Dude,
Love that movie.
that Christopher Lloyd when he starts turning,
Yes, scared me
it
so
scared
much.
the hell out of me as a kid. It's terrifying.
Remember me, Eddie, when I killed your brother? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. But yeah, who's your favorite character in Kill?
Favorite character is non-Jason character is unequivocally Bad News Cruise. I love Bad News Cruise. Favorite kill? That's a great question. I would probably. Damn it. That's really hard.
Yeah, for me, it's either the Kevin Bacon one, the Crispin Glover one, or the girl getting split in the tent. That one just sticks out to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I really like. I don't know, man. I really like in Jason X, the woman getting her head frozen
Oh
and then
yeah, that's great.
smashed. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't remember how good Jason X was until I rewatched it last year.
It's money.
I liked it. That's the thing that's like you said earlier. Like I think that's probably the most consistent horror franchise. Like that's the one where I watch them all, and there's not one of them that I don't like. It's weird, but I haven't seen the remake since 2009. I haven't watched. I didn't even watch that in my set yet. I remember liking it though back when I saw it. Do you like Duck Soup 1933?
Movie buffs making us look like fools, man.
He does this every week, and he knows for a fact that I have not seen these movies. The Public Enemy 1931. I have actually seen.
I've seen the Scarface. I've seen the Scarface, but not the Public Enemy.
So I'll go Public Enemy. You'll go Scarface.
I'll go Scarface.
I just watched the De Palma Scarface for the first time this year, and I was like,
dude,
what have I been missing my entire life? Like,
you
this
got
is
the
one of
4K?
the greatest. Yeah, it looks so good too.
So good. So good. I love all those, any kind of mafia movie, dude, at least within the last 40, 50 years at least, because I'm sure movie buff's going to try to punk me out again. But I love all that stuff.
Yeah, Don Morton says, was able to catch Starship Troopers in the theater, and the 4K is excellent. Please share your thoughts on the film Saint Maud. I don't know why I said Maud. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Christian?
Yeah. Yeah, it was A24.
I've been waiting for that thing to get a physical media release.
It just didn't get one here.
Yeah, it did. It got a nice steelbook, I think.
Yeah, I just got I think it's Studio Canal, I think.
Yeah, it got announced today for the traditional A24 Lionsgate slipcover. That's what I've been waiting for.
Oh, really? Good. It's great. I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, obviously, if you're going to get it, but it's the best thing I can say about it. It's an A24 movie, so that should be a seal of approval.
I love me some A24. Those are my jam. The Witch is my favorite horror movie of the entire 21st century.
That's awesome. The only thing I'll say about Saint Maud that has nothing to do with anything of the actual movie is if you're like me, you're gonna watch it and you're not gonna know if you thought it was the greatest thing you ever seen or just another movie, but you're gonna keep thinking about it, and then you're gonna keep thinking about it, and then the next day you're gonna keep thinking about it, and then you're gonna be like, I've got to watch this movie again. Yep. And then eventually I was like, damn, no, this is the real deal. So that's what happened.
Sounds like an A24 movie.
Yes.
Have you seen? It's not horror, but have you seen Zola? the movie that
No,
came out this year.
no,
If I
I've
can
not.
recommend one movie to you tonight, it's in my top 3 movies that come out this year. I recommend Zola. I recommend that you watch that.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a comedy. It's got some dark edges to it. It kind of turns into a little bit of a crime thriller in like the last 20 minutes. And Riley Keough gives the best performance of the year, in my opinion.
Wow.
I love her in that movie. She's hilarious. My Killer Podcast, what do you agree about? Sorry, I missed it. Is that some sort of Freddy wrestling buddy behind CH? It looks like it. Looks like the Hogan one doll I used to have when I was a kid, but Freddy.
Yeah, it is. My wife got that for me for my birthday one year.
Awesome.
So he
Yeah, it
don't
looks
make any
just like
sounds
the
or
Hogan
nothing.
with the wrestling belt. He did not want to sit back there with Michael. My Killer Podcast says favorite horror subgenre and a couple movies that fall into it.
I'd have to go horror comedy. My number one favorite movie is Return to the Living Dead.
Which I just watched for the first time the other night.
I saw that. That's my number one favorite movie. Is
Yep.
that it's the most punk rock movie ever made.
I watched that movie with my wife, and I didn't know how she was going to take it, but she loved it, and it surprised the hell out of me because she usually doesn't like movies like that. And I was like, "Wow, we need to watch Evil Dead now and some other like great horror comedies of the '80s."
Yeah.
Because I think I found a horror style that she jabs with.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just one more because I don't want to kill too much time thinking about it. But you mentioned Evil Dead. Army of Darkness is another just favorite. I love funny ass horror movies, and Army
Yeah.
of Darkness is just so high on my list. That's my favorite Evil Dead movie, believe it or not. So horror comedy, when it's done right, man, I eat it up for breakfast.
Yeah, I
So
thought Return of the Living Dead was so much fun.
yeah.
I don't know why I've missed some of these movies. But yeah, I remember I saw the Army of Darkness at the drive-in when I was 7. It was a triple feature. It started with Aladdin. In the middle was A League of Their Own, and then it ended with Army of Darkness. And this was in 1992, I guess, because that was back when they used to progressively get the movies more mature as you went throughout the night.
Right.
So yeah, that memory of that movie always sticks out to me. Save for a few exceptions, I don't watch the horror genre. Most of the conversion is way over my head. Conversion? Conversation? Oh, you're talking about this conversation. Okay, I don't know why it's a conversion. Scream trailer being underwhelming. Got to be Sydney the killer this time. I think Stu is going to be the killer. Maybe the Mill in the new Scream will be Sydney's twin sister we never knew about. I don't know. Could be. Stu will be revived and powered by electricity like Horace Pinker in Craven Shocker.
Hell yes. I would love that.
JK Rants and Review says, who is the master? I don't know. I don't know
That's
who
a
the
movie
master
reference, but I can't remember.
Hello, mid-level. I'm new to the channel. Well, thank you so much, man, for being here. I appreciate you being here, Mo. Caladeli says, Kenny the heel got everyone calling him out for hardcore Iron Man match. Who called me out for a hardcore Iron Man match? I'm game, I guess. Starship Troopers was the first 4K I watched after getting my 4K TV. My wife complained it didn't look like a movie because it was too clear.
That's the average person, probably.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do get that a little bit. I do like my 4K transfers have a little bit of grain in them to remind me that it is an actual film that I'm watching sometimes. Favorite Jedi and favorite Sith. Are you into the Star Wars, Christian?
Vaguely. My brother's a big Star Wars guy. I've watched them all. Favorite Jedi is absolutely Samuel L. Jackson because he got the purple lightsaber. Favorite Sith Lord is probably Darth Maul because he's so heavy metal looking. So that tells you the kind of Star Wars fan I am. But I watched them all. I've seen them all. So
favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, says Mo Howard.
I'm actually ranking these on my channel soon.
Well, you don't have to give it away. You don't have to give it away because
I'll give you my second. Yeah, I'll hold off because I'm actually mowing this over my head.
Hold off. I wanna know when I watch your video. Favorite kills, Friday the 13th franchise. I think we already answered that one. And my favorite Texas Chainsaw is the first one. Mo Howard says, Ken, have you had a guy who loves Arnold on this world's biggest collectors before? Yeah, I've had Durant Cinema on here. He loves Arnold, but I think most people love Arnold, to be honest. Favorite Chucky kill? It's a good question. I'm trying to. I love the teacher kill in the second one just because he looks. I love the shot of him when he comes out of the closet. It's just so incredibly
Brutal.
menacing, and
Brutal.
he's ready to fucking murder somebody. um, but I don't know if that's my favorites. Maybe the guy in the doll factory gets his eyes clamped.
That's a good one.
There's a lot of great ones in part 3 that I forgot
Part
about until I rewatched it a few years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough too. I like the voodoo guy who gets killed by the little
Yeah, that is a good one.
Chucky.
Yeah, that is a good one. That was crazy. They never really did anything like that again in the franchise, did they? As far as like a kill, did they ever bring a voodoo doll back
Yeah, no.
like
Watch.
that?
I'm sure. Mike Mancini will have 70 Chuckies at once, having voodoo dolls, and be like the plague, just wiping
Yeah.
out hundreds of people at a time.
Don't give them ideas with the Terminator T2 remakes. Hey, Dark Fate is garbage. Oh man. Eternal Melancholy says, I know Terminator first one isn't on 4K. Do you think they'll have a Terminator 4K box set? I don't know, man. They got to get Cameron back in there to do it. Hopefully, he does a better job on that one than the second one. I don't know.
Is it true that I never bought Terminator 2 on 4K because some of my friends that are really up on hearing about the transfers and this and that, they all told me that the transfer was really pitiful for Terminator 2. I saw that they're re-releasing it. Is it the same?
It's the exact same one, but there was conflicting reports because Collider reported over the weekend that it was supposed to be a new transfer that was overseen by James Cameron, but I think they just misunderstood that when they saw James Cameron on the press release for it when they first announced it, they just assumed that Cameron was coming back in to do a new transfer because
He
it's the
needs to do
same old
True
one.
Lies. I mean, he's supposed to have been overseeing the True Lies Blu-ray, for God's sakes, for
Yeah,
years. Like, when are we getting True Lies, for God's sakes?
that's a big sore spot in the physical media community. Everybody wants that movie. I broke down and bought it on DVD finally because I didn't own it. I have a VHS copy, but that's the last copy I have of it.
Right.
But
That's one
yeah,
of my
I don't know
favorites.
what the deal is. Yeah, I love True Lies. It's been a while since I've seen it though. Terminator Genesis is underrated. I don't know. It's been since the theater since I watched it, so maybe I'll have to go rewatch it. But I don't remember anything good about it. I remember being excited. I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones fan, but when Khaleesi was announced to be Sarah Connor, I was like, oh, she's going to be great. Nope.
And my wife is religious. She loved Game of Thrones, but I never watched any of it before.
Yeah, A Page of Madness. I mean, for the movie, CHH was describing from Japan. Okay,
That
so
sounds
A Page of
familiar.
Madness.
I'm gonna have to
Okay.
look that up, Ben Grimm.
Brian Goes Blues in the chat. What's up, man? It says good evening, guys. Anyone else have their Halloween Kills tickets? Peacock isn't the way. I'm seeing it in Dolby Cinema. Have to hear the score with amazing sound. So I heard you say that you were going to watch it on Peacock, and I was happy that I wasn't alone because that's the way I'm going to watch it as well.
Yeah, look, I am not a person that wants theaters to go away by any stretch. I'm taking my
Yeah.
mom in the subsequent days. We're gonna go see it because she loves Michael Myers. But I'm gonna Peacock it. I pay for Peacock already, so I may as well use the son of a bitch, But
It just
I'm gonna go to the theater too to see
it's
it.
too hard. It's right there, and it's just so convenient. I said the same thing about the HBO Max movies. I'm like, I'm already paying for the HBO Max. I'm like, if you're going to put the Suicide Squad on there, Godzilla versus Kong, like, I'm just going to watch it on my TV. And when I can go to the theater, because it's hard for me to get out to theaters a lot with kids and stuff, I'm just going to watch it at home. instead of going to
Yeah.
theaters, and I'll save the movies that are just in theaters for when I go out to the theaters. Groovy says, what's going on? What's up, Groovy? Robzilla884 says, the two girls in the sleeping bag in Jason X is the best. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Jay Laura says, how many miles do you run, Christian? You an avid runner, Christian? I know when you messaged me the other day, you said you were running.
I was. I typically 4.5 miles. I think maybe 4, at least 4. I usually do that 5 days a week, 4 to 5 days a week.
Damn,
So.
I need to get back into exercising. I haven't done it since before the quarantine. Kind of got me out of it. Blu-ray Nate says, I usually love religious horror, but man, Saint Maud was so disappointing to me. Yeah, I mean, that's A24. You can go either way a lot of times with their movies.
Yeah.
I have all 3 Godfathers on Blu-ray that I bought 3 years ago and still haven't watched it. I did watch my Scarface. It was good. Yeah, have you seen all the
You'll enjoy them.
Godfathers?
Yes, I have, and I will unequivocally die on this hill. Godfather 1 is the best Godfather.
Okay, I haven't seen 2 yet. I've only seen 1. So
Godfather 2 is amazing. It really is. It really is amazing. I like 3. As a matter of fact, you need to get the Coda.
The Coda edition. I see it at Best Buy all the time, and I never get it.
You need to grab it because I'm telling you, it's a different movie. I don't want to. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's really cool. And Francis Ford actually has an interview on the beginning of it when you watch it, and he's like, I want to thank. I think it was Paramount, whoever it was, the studio. I want to thank the studio for letting me do this. He says, this is the movie I wanted to make and show you. And I'm so glad that all these years later, you get to see my real movie, Godfather, Coda, the death of Michael Corleone. So get your hands on that, because it's certainly, in my opinion, the better Godfather 3.
Yeah, I'll have to. And I need to watch my Godfather too. I don't know why it's taking me so long. I just watched the Godfather first time, I think 3 years ago. I liked it. The more and more of the Al Pacino stuff I see from like the 70s and 80s, the more I'm realizing that he's literally probably the best actor of all time, like him and Robert De Niro together.
Have you seen Cruising?
No, I have not. That's Freaking, right? Am I right?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Your jaw will drop with that movie. That's from Arrow. If you want to get the Arrow,
Yeah, I
it's
see it all the
shocking.
time.
It is shocking. It's really good. It is really good.
Yeah, I just watched Dog Day Afternoon for the first time this year. Like, he's so good in that. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He's on another level, him and De Niro. And Heat, I just watched for the first time like 2 or 3 years ago. It's crazy
Very
that I
nice.
missed that one. And that was so good too. That's
Very
another
nice.
one everybody's waiting on the 4K for. Just saw the French film Raw. What a fantastic movie. I'd like to know your thoughts. Did you see Raw? I'm sure you did. Back from
great
2017. Film. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Great film.
I enjoyed it. It's been since 2017 that I saw it, but it was a good movie. Favorite Saw movie? Mine's the first one, but I'm not the biggest Saw fan, to be honest. I've seen them all in theaters. I remember seeing them all in theaters, but I'm just not a fan of that era of horror, I guess. But I know that you're a pretty big fan of those movies.
Yeah, Saw 3 is my favorite one. Love Saw 3.
Is that the one with the girl gets frozen as well? Isn't there like a frozen scene in that one too?
She does. There is a girl that gets frozen in 3. Brutal. Man, I feel that when I watch it.
Cole says, have a great show tonight and wish you all the best. Well, thank you.
Hey, Cole.
Haunted House 1908 or a Haunted House 2013?
Haunted House 1908.
What's the is that the spoof movie with like Marlon Wayans? Is this what he's talking about?
That's what I think. It's a remake.
Alex Bonifetti says, sup people? What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? JK Ransom Review says, I finally got around to seeing Halloween 3 and I wish I liked it, but it just didn't grab me. That's your favorite one of the whole franchise, right?
It is my favorite, but I look, Halloween 78. It's the Godfather of modern horror, and
do you
it's
think?
one of
Because
them.
I was on a Halloween watch along last night. Do you think it's right to rank that one with the other ones because it is such a different movie? Do you think that we should maybe put it to the side, or do you think it's right to put it in there because it's the Halloween movie? Because I always rank it with the rest of them too. But
I guess you look at it two ways. If you want to rank them solely based off of the character with Michael Myers in them, you could take it out. But
Yeah.
I mean, if when I rank them, it's usually 70-30, the actual making and quality of the film, and then 70% of how the film makes me feel,
Yep.
right? Because that's what I think is more important. In my opinion, that's what's more important.
You're
So damn
ranking your
right.
favorites.
So damn right Halloween 3 goes in there. And, you've got the people that still say, oh, well, it's not a Halloween film. I don't know. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill and all them, they called it Halloween. So damn right it's a Halloween film.
I mean, that's what they wanted the franchise to go into, the anthology format. So they wanted them all to be
Sure.
different.
Yeah.
But
But to that person that said that, J.K. Rants, watch that movie in 6 months, see what you think about it then, and watch it again 3 months later, then watch it again 3 months later. I was
yeah,
just like you when I first saw that movie. I'm not saying you're going to change your mind, but that's exactly how I felt about Halloween 3 the first time I watched it.
the story with me is I saw Halloween 4 first, and I'm pretty sure I saw 5 after that. And then I knew I needed to see the first one. So then we went to Walmart and I saw a 3-pack, VHS 3-pack with Halloween 1, 2, and 3 in it. And I
Mhm.
had my parents get it for me. And I went home, I watched 1 and 2 and loved them. And then I got to 3 and I'm like, wait, where's Michael?
Where's this? Yeah, yeah.
And it was a bad experience. And then I never watched the movie again until like 3 or 4 years ago. And I was like, damn, this is really good. The score in that movie is like my favorites. There's some
Beautiful.
days I like it more than the actual Halloween score. Um, Thoughts on Phantasm 2? I mean, I just watched that one. I enjoyed both of those movies a lot.
Wait a minute. There's no way that's the actual A. Michael Baldwin,
Oh,
is
yeah.
it?
He comes in here all the time. Hey, Michael Baldwin? He's a friend of
Dude,
the
that
channel. No, I'm just.
oh my god. Because the irony is, why would A. Michael Baldwin be asking about the one Phantasm movie he didn't do? I'm sorry, A. Michael Baldwin. I'm about to break your heart. It's my favorite Phantasm. And
I
it's not
liked it.
because that Michael is better per se. I love Michael and I love you, A. Michael. I know this isn't him, but I'm just saying, you, Michael. I love you in these movies. Phantasm 2 is bombs away, great special effects. It looks like a freaking $1,000,000. The tall man is on one. I'm pissed off because my damn Well-Go set has the wrong discs in it, but
Did you
um,
find it? Did it have the wrong ones in it? I'm still trying to figure out how to even know if I have the wrong discs or not. Um,
well, from what I was talking about with people, sorry to cut you off. None
no,
of
you're
us
good.
got anything totally right. Apparently, the second disc, my second disc is the uncut version, but it was supposed to be a better scan of the movie, and
Yeah,
I know a 4K scan when I see it. You know a 4K scan when you see it. That's
yeah.
not a 4K scan. The first disc is a total mess. We were supposed to get new special features, a 7.1 audio. We didn't get that. So both discs are wrong. So I sent them that email and they never responded to me, but I sent him my receipt from Amazon, and I think Well-Go just dropped the ball big time, and they just sent out everyone the wrong discs. So if you put in your Phantasm, if you put it in and there's no 7.1 audio track, you got the wrong disc. But I haven't seen anybody say they've gotten both right discs. Anybody. So I would
Yeah,
say
because
you
I heard
probably
that they were
don't.
putting the shouts, the Scream Factory version of Phantasm 2 in there. So I just assumed when I saw the disc said "Well Go" on it that I got the right one.
I
But
have the same disc you're talking about too, but it's still not the right one. It's uncut, but it's not the right. It's
yeah,
supposed to be a better scan and everything, and I think they dropped the ball on that.
but yeah, I like Phantasm 2. It's more of an action movie, I think, than horror. And whereas the
Yeah,
first one's more of a horror movie. Please share your favorite horror convention experience. Um, you're gonna check my horror cred, but I've never been to a full-fledged horror convention, so I'll let you take this one if you have.
probably my very first convention uh, was meeting Doug Bradley. He was the first guy I saw when I went to the main hall at Texas Frightmare, and I brought my Hellraiser 3 uncut laserdisc to get signed. This is before I realized how much of a pain in the ass it is to actually bring stuff to conventions as opposed to just getting the glossy 5x8s that they have there, which are covered in the $20 anyway to get signed. So you may as well get the free picture. So I went up to Doug Bradley, and obviously the character of Pinhead is just such this sophisticated,
Yeah.
scary, formal character. And Doug, when I first walked up to him, I was terrified of him. But I remember, like, I was like, how do I, I've figured out how to do icebreakers with walking up to the tables with people. But thankfully, Doug, when I walked up to him, he looked at me. He could tell I was terrified of him. Not like he's still a creepy looking guy, like when you see him, because he doesn't really. He's got that formal British, kind of He's almost like he seems royal when you walk up to him. But thankfully, he looked at me. He goes, "Oh, Laserdisc. Still love these, huh? These are better than Blu-ray to me still. Blah, blah, blah. Let me see what you got here." And he's like, "This is really cool, man. I'm so glad you brought this. This is fantastic. Love 3, by the way. It's one of my favorites I did. Didn't like it at first, but it's really grown on me. So you want to get a picture, mate?" I was like, yes, Mr. Bradley. "Oh, call me Doug. Call me Doug." But he really brought me at ease, and I was terrified of him. Then I'll tell this later, but funny enough, my worst experience was with a Michael Baldwin at the same convention. But Doug Bradley was the best. He was the most. He seemed like royalty when I met him, but he was so kind.
That's so cool. Yeah, the first 2 Hellraiser movies are they've been with me for a very long time too. I remember being very young seeing both of those.
Oh yeah.
And I just love both of those first 2 movies. The third movie I have not seen in forever. I remember thinking it was okay, but I mean, are you going to rank those at some point on your channel as well?
Well, I'd have to rewatch a lot of the
Like,
latter
oh
ones. I've
my
seen them,
God,
but
is it painful once you get past 3 pretty much. Like, I mean,
but
Bloodline
though,
is probably watchable because it's in space, so there's some kind of cool. It's been forever since I've seen that one too.
But I'd almost just like there's this
They're like
party
crime
aspect with all of them.
crime procedurals or something. They're all the rest of them.
Yeah. One of them I watched, I mean, I think it was Hellseeker or something. I can't remember, but it was a cop one, and this cop was killing everybody. It was just him. Spoiler alert. But like he was going to sleep and having night terrors where he was getting up and killing people, and like Pinhead showed up for like 30 seconds, like, "Hey, bro,
Yes.
that's you
Yes.
doing it," and then that
It's
was
like
it.
I remember watching Inferno because that's the 5th one, and he shows up for like 2 minutes. I was like, "What is this shit?" It's like almost like they wrote it to be a completely different movie, and then they just injected Pinhead in like the last 2 minutes. I don't know. That franchise is just. I kept wanting to give it a chance, so I watched them all the way up until Hellworld, and then after Hellworld, I was done. I don't even know how many
Yeah,
they made after that. I think they made like 2 or 3 more.
they made it. Yeah, they kept going for a little while.
And then I've seen another one on the Walmart shelves with somebody that's not Doug Bradley, and I'm like, I'm definitely not watching this shit.
that one's pitiful.
Yeah. What do you think about the new casting? The female casting of Pinhead.
There was a lot of people that were upset about that, and there's another
To me,
section
it
of the
feels like
people
it
that,
fits. It's like
well,
he
yeah,
always had a girl at his side anyway.
right. And there was another sector that were saying, "Well, you realize Clive wrote it as a female to begin with." Blah blah blah. I'm just like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna watch it, and then when I watch it, I'll let you know what I think about it."
It's not like
I
Doug
think,
Bradley didn't do shitty Hellraiser movies.
yeah, exactly. I think that Hellraiser had dipped so deep down into this abysmal level that nothing should not be tried at this point. I mean, we
Yeah.
could put Donald Trump as Pinhead and
Yeah.
just try it. Screw it. Try it. I mean, let's see if this sticks.
I
Just
have
throw it against the
such
wall.
sights to show you. That
I
was
have the
my
best.
Donald
These sites. Yeah, these sites are the best sites. Nobody's sites are better than my sites.
Uh,
The
yeah,
pain is going to be so great. I'm telling you, the best pain, bigly pain. It's going to be great.
is what's coming out? Is that the HBO show they were talking about, or is it like a
I
new
think
movie? Because I didn't
I
dig
thought it
into it
was a
enough.
show. I thought it was a show at
They were
first,
talking about
but
that HBO show back in like early 2020.
right, it could be a movie. I can't remember, but you know
Yeah, I
what? To
can't
hell
remember
with
either.
it, man. Hellraiser, we're all going to hell together. When it comes out, we're going to see it. So
I'll
it is
watch
what
it.
it is.
I'll
We'll find
watch it
out.
as long as it's not the straight to video bullshit they've been doing. I was excited about HBO getting it and maybe adding some prestige to it or something.
Just money in general.
Yeah. But
You know,
favorite movie musical?
Little Shop of Horrors.
It's a good one. My wife loves that movie, and I've still yet to see it. I don't know why she hasn't made me watch that yet, but we're going to be watching Rocky Horror Picture Show this month. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Very nice.
Yeah, but Little Shop of Horrors definitely a classic. What's your most hated horror movie? Um, what's your most hated horror? Do you have any that you hate? You're a very positive guy, Christian. I don't feel like you hate much of anything. There is one that
Yeah,
I hate, and I don't even want to bring it up with you. Um, I don't want it to
I don't
spark
care.
any negativity. It's Rob Zombie's Halloween. I talk about it all the time.
Oh, believe me, buddy. I have heard this. I have people that make sure they message me to let me know they hate Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't even ask. I didn't even ask you. I'm just letting you know anyway. Hobgoblins is my most hated movie, but it's not necessarily the movie, but Vinegar Syndrome. They duped me big time.
Yeah, Hobgoblins. Didn't you make a T-shirt of that?
I
You
did.
made a Hobgoblins T-shirt, didn't you? I feel like you
It was
brought that up.
it started out like when I told the story about why I hate that movie so much. It People started trolling me and they're like, "Dude, when you're reviewing Hobgoblins or when we doing a Hobgoblins commentary," I'm like, "Screw it, you guys! I'm gonna turn my own meme into a shirt. To hell with it." So I made a Hobgoblin shirt.
I've not seen that movie. Do you recommend watching it?
No, if it's if you like critters
Torture.
and ghoulies and gremlins, take away every bit of acting ability in performances in a movie, take away half the budget, just get a blind man to hit some piano keys for the score, make the story most illogical, and then buy it on a 1080p crisp Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome, and there you go.
Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome's one label I have not gotten into yet. I'm hoping to this year, but I know that they do a lot of what looks like to me
Tr-
crap. Uh,
hey, tread lightly. They put
yeah,
out some amazing movies, but they have no filter of what they'll put out,
yeah.
which is
I'll look to
beautiful
your
because
channel because I
yeah,
think you got some recommendation videos on there, don't you?
I have, and I
Yeah,
stand by those recommendations. I do. I stand by those recommendations, but tread lightly.
yeah. I'm
Tread very
definitely not
lightly.
signing up for the subscription service. I know that.
It's
Uh, do you all watch? That I mean, those slipcovers are awesome. Like I do have one Vinegar Syndrome. I'm gonna watch it this month because I've never watched a Vinegar Syndrome because I want to watch at least one. I've got Bloody New Year, and that's the only one that I
that's a
have.
good one. Let me tell you the movie. Let me tell you the number one recommend I could give you from Vinegar Syndrome at this moment in time. It's called Fade to Black, and
Okay,
it's
yeah,
a
I've heard about that
really great. Matter of fact, the producer from Halloween, the bald guy, um, son of a gun, what's his name? Not Mustafa, not
one.
Deborah.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's I don't want to waste too much time, but he produced Fade to Black, and he's got a great interview on the Blu-ray. It's a really good movie, and it
Yeah, I've heard some
stars
good things about it.
Eddie Spaghetti from It. That's
Mm,
him in there. Chris
really? When was it made? Mid
80,
'90s? 80?
80.
Okay, so you're talking about the adult Eddie, right?
Eddie's yeah, the adult Eddie Spaghetti. I forget
The
his
adult
actual
Eddie.
name. Daniel something or Christopher something.
Yeah,
Um, but it's good. It's a great psychological kind of movie. It's kind of like the Joker, but a horror movie version of the Joker. Like the Joker that just came out. That's a great one. I'll
yeah. I
stand
get that.
by
I do get that one
Fade to Black.
recommended to me a lot, so I need to. That'll probably be high on the list. 'Cause I do want to order a few in November when they do their Black Friday sale.
Right, right.
Do y'all watch indie horror movies? Have you seen the Pierce Brothers movies, Deadheads, or The Wretched? I saw The Wretched last year. I really didn't like it. The Wretched to me felt like a Walmart DVD movie. Um, but did you watch that one?
No, I have not. Erwin Yablans was the guy. It finally came to my head just real quick. Is who I was
Okay.
talking about. He produced Fade to Black. No, I do watch. I do watch a lot of indie stuff. Shudder's been very great about that with the
Yeah.
indie stuff. But no, I haven't seen those.
Yeah. I
If
put
it's found footage, I'll watch it. I watch a lot of found footage indie
I love
movies.
found footage. That's one of my favorite horror subgenres. That to me is the scariest. And I mean, I like being scared when I watch horror, and I always get scared when I watch found footage
Yeah,
movies.
I mean when it's done right. This is the problem with found footage. The highs are very high in that genre, but the lows are
Yeah.
very low. And one person, if you watch one movie that is so abysmally bad in that genre, that'll steer people away.
Yeah.
They don't give it the average person. I'll talk to them. I was like, no, this is some great movies. There's movies like The Sacrament that are just these are amazing found footage movies, and
I
they
feel like I
they
have that
they
movie on DVD. I need to watch it. I don't think I've seen it.
wow, oh, it's great. It's one of the best. But you have to go for it. A lot of found footage stuff you can stream it pretty easy. It's a great subgenre when
I
treated
love the
with
first
respect.
two VHS films. I love the two Creep movies. I'm sure you've seen those, but I think those are
Oh,
super
dude,
underrated.
Creep kicked my ass when I
I
watched
love
it.
that movie so much. Mark Duplass is like just one of the best horror characters I think in that show, and he does a lot of just regular TV now. Like he's in that morning show on Apple TV Plus. Like he's just a
Right,
great actor in general, but he's so good in that movie.
right.
And I love Hell House LLC. Like I didn't sleep that night after I watched
Oh
that movie.
my
That
god,
movie messed me up. I don't
that
know what it is
clown,
about it.
that damn clown,
For
man.
me, it was when she like woke up and she like lifted the sheets and there was that thing sitting in the corner and it like ran at her real quick. That thing
Oh,
that fucked me
the
up.
eyes it had.
Yes.
Hell House
Um,
LLC was another one that just I was shocked at how good it was. And I tell people these movies are really good. I'm telling you, found footage when done properly gets a little bit deeper right there.
yeah.
It hits a little bit deeper. You gotta
Paranormal
find them.
Activity, man. The first three Paranormal Activity films, I think, is like a perfect horror trilogy. I love those three movies. I was creeped the F out watching the third one in the theaters. I think that one's so good. When they go in
They
the out the
are.
back and you see all those old ladies. I don't know what it is with old ladies in
Oh my
horror.
god,
They
them old
freak me the
ladies.
hell out. My
And the
wife's in
guy
there.
holding
I'm
the
like
camera.
putting me and my wife are in the
And the
theaters.
guy
I'm putting my head in her shoulder in the theater. Like I can't watch it. Like it just freaked me the hell out when
and
they're like,
the cameraman when he sees the woman, he's like, "Oh shit!" He just backs
yeah.
up. He starts hauling ass.
It's
Oh,
so
but it's
creepy.
good. It's good. It's you
I
can't
think
beat
it
it.
tells a really good story in those three movies. And then four happened, and four is all right, but I like the Mark ones too. But I don't know if I've seen the sixth one at all. Uh,
I remember enjoying it, but it was one of those
I feel
things where
like I
it's
did.
like,
I just don't remember anything about it.
yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna go on the internet and say I like this movie because it's probably gonna get a lot of tomato. You
I'm
know what I mean? There's
curious about
certain
the
things
new
where you're just
one,
like,
but I'm curious about the new one. I
the
don't even know when
title's
that
weird. And
drops. Is that
yeah,
this
the title's
weekend?
weird. I don't know.
Surely
Well,
they wouldn't
I'm
go
not
head to head
sure.
with Halloween. I
No,
don't.
no, no. I figured it's going straight to streaming, but I don't know.
Night of the Creeps or Slither. I haven't seen Night of the Creeps. That's another huge blind spot for me. I know I need to watch it. I've
That's
heard
the
it's
best Tom
good.
Atkins movie you'll ever watch.
Yeah, I've heard some really great things about it, and I have not seen it.
Slither is fantastic. It's my
I remember
favorite
liking
James
Slither.
Gunn movie.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while since I've seen it, but I remember liking it. Cameron must be too busy making Avatar sequels. Yes, he is. Avatar sequels until 2049. Terminator 2 is one of the greatest, sir. Terminator Genesis is hot diarrhea. Okay. Hitting the theaters Thursday night, 7 p.m. Let's see. Going to the theaters Thursday night, 7 p.m. for Halloween Kills. How behind am I in these comments? Best kill, Jason X Frozen Kill, Part 7 Sleeping Bag, the arrow scene where he gets his mask. My top three Jason
Amen.
kills. What are your thoughts on the Thing prequel? Other than the CGI, I really enjoy it. Um, I just watched that for the first time. I liked the movie other than the CGI. I kind of liked how it fleshed out. I just thought it was really cool how they told the story of the base that they go to at the beginning of the original. I don't know. I just liked it. I thought that was a cool
Yeah.
touch. I had
Yeah.
no idea it was
Agreed.
that. I thought it was a remake when I first watched it. It was the fact that it was a prequel. I didn't know it.
Right. I agree. Pretty much agree. I mean, it was last on my ranking from earlier, but that doesn't mean I don't like it.
Yeah. Halloween 1, Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street, which is the best? That's a tough one. I mean, Nightmare and Halloween are both in my top 10, but it's probably got to be Halloween for me.
I'll concede and say Halloween is the best. I guess, what does best mean? Best what? Best movie?
I
Best
don't know.
fan?
It's one of those things
I
where
mean,
if I watch Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm going to be super high on that one, and that one I might say is better than Halloween. It's very hard.
it's hard.
I
Screw it.
say
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I say
We're
Halloween
going
by
Nightmare.
default because I already just know in like my official rankings. I've done like top 10 movies and stuff. That's Michael's my guy. I love Halloween. That's my favorite horror franchise.
Right.
Although I don't know. I'm kind of falling more and more out of love with it, I guess, as like every year goes on. I don't know
You
what's
got to give
going
yourself a
on.
break from it, man. I haven't
Yeah.
watched 78 in a while. When I got that 4K, that was the first time I'd watched it in quite some time. And when I do watch it, it's usually my Criterion Laserdisc because it's a
Yeah.
great release of that movie. So
Yeah.
it's
And
nice when you have to cut yourself off from it. Like don't look at it, don't think about the movie, don't listen to the damn music, just leave it alone, and then
yeah.
you know
And to be
it'll be
perfectly
fresh to
honest,
you.
like Rob Zombie's Halloween, I hate it when movies do this, and I don't like to let them do it. But like that movie actually made me, I think, a little bit less of a fan. I don't know what it is. It's just the fact that that movie exists in the franchise. It makes me like the franchise less. I just hate that it exists. It's
You
the
are
only movie
one
I
of
would wipe
many.
away from existence if I could. And I've heard you all talk about his second one before, and I went back and rewatched that a few years ago because I hated that when I first saw it in theaters. And I do think it's a pretty good movie. I do like that movie, the
I
second one.
think that's cool. That's cool.
But
It's certainly my I like 2 way more than the
I get
1.
so angry at the first 45 minutes of that movie that I'm seeing red and I cannot even finish it most of the time. Like I know that it's probably better. Like I just need to start at like 45 minutes in after the whole prequel shit.
You know what I think it is? I was talking to Nick about this.
And I do use
It's
the
almost
DVD disc as a coaster on my desk, by the way. Um,
That's funny. You know what I think it is? Legitimately, it's almost like Zombie is trying to write Tarantino dialogue, but it's not right. Like Tarantino knows how to make that real dialogue that's vulgar but very palatable.
yeah,
Granted, look, Rob Zombie grew up. I'm not the Rob Zombie defender, for God's sakes, but he grew up in the carnival business. That's what his family did. That's the kind of language he heard. So that's what he's putting into his movies. But how many people relate to carnival life and
yeah.
that kind of vulgarity? It's a lot, you know. And then when you
When you hear
look at
him
Lord,
talk, though, he's just like so well spoken and just so
so well
intellectual
spoken,
sounding. Like it's like night and day from
yeah.
like this kind of stuff he makes.
That's why I enjoyed. I'm sure not a lot of people like this movie either, and that's fine. But like that's why when I watched Lords of Salem, I was like, wow, this dialogue is nothing like anything he did before. It's very clean, very
Yeah,
clean. So
I need to watch it because I still have not seen that one. I think after his second Halloween, I didn't watch Lords of Salem or 31. I was just done with him at that point. And then I
mhm.
didn't watch another zombie film till Three from Hell because I like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, and I wanted to see the conclusion of that trilogy. So I have to go back and watch Lords of Salem.
Sure, sure.
Marlon Brando might have something to say about being the best actor. Just saying. I mean, I've only seen a couple Brando films. I've got On the Waterfront, the Criterion, so I need to watch it. And but I've only seen Apocalypse Now, which he's great in, and The Godfather. Um, let's see. Says the man that bought the Saul. I did buy a Saul Steelbook today. I bought the Steelbook in Best Buy because it was on sale, and there was nothing else in
It looked
stores, so I got it. I love the
it looked
Steelbook.
good.
Yeah,
It
I
looked
just
good.
love how it has
Yeah.
him dragging Carrie Elwes on the back.
Hmm.
When I was a kid, I hated Halloween 3 because it wasn't about Michael Myers, but now I freaking love that movie. Christian is a class act. Enjoy all his work. Thank you for having on your show, says Baby Herman. Well, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
baby.
Baby Herman. Christian is a class act, and I really appreciate him being here tonight. So I am going to switch up this backdrop real quick. I have a surprise for you.
Oh God.
There's the new
You need
backdrop
a
for the rest of the
hey.
show. There you
Looks
go.
good.
Brian Goes Blue says, "Do you think Deadly Friend will come with a slipcover or a slip box like the new Elvira Halloween releases?" It did come with a slipcover, right? Bam.
Yeah, just a regular slip. I know people were speculating that that Scream Factory's gonna be doing the hardcover box stuff. There's no way. I mean, Halloween's are special occasion. They're gonna do regular slipcovers for their collector's editions. I can't anticipate them doing hard boxes for everything. That's just a cost that, you know, they're not gonna want to have to probably do, especially for titles like Deadly Friend. Deadly Friend's not gonna probably sell half of what any of those Halloween 4Ks are gonna sell.
Yeah,
So
guarantee it. I'm excited
I
to
mean, I
get
wish
one
they
of
would have
these.
done it for some movies, like Return of the Living Dead. You damn right, that should have got a freaking chest. The movie comes in because it's the greatest horror movie ever to me. But
You think that'll get a 4K Scream Factory at some point?
it better. I mean, it's a film that could really benefit from a gorgeous scan. I mean, it's I think it would be great. I say that, maybe some of the effects won't look as great, like Tarman, and when you see that suit in really good picture quality, you might see a little bit of its cheapness, but it's still a great character, so I would forgive that. But the half corpse would look
Yeah, that
shockingly good
the
in
half course on
4K.
the you're talking about the girl on the table like that was the best looking effect of the whole movie to me.
That would shine in 4K. I
Yeah,
can see it in my head how good it would look. So you guys know me. If anybody knows my channel, Returns my number one. So I'll cry when I get to 4K. I need that on 4K.
you need a 4K of Return of the Living Dead.
Thank you.
Amityville horror movies ranked. Have you seen? There's like 100 of those movies. I don't know, like if he's talking about maybe the regular ones.
I'll rank the 4 that I like:
Okay,
Amityville 2, Amityville Horror Original, Amityville 3, and I love Amityville Dollhouse. Love
okay,
that one.
yeah, because they came out with like a whole Vinegar Syndrome set. Didn't they do that?
They
It was like
did.
a
They
yeah,
did. I haven't seen all of those movies, but
yeah. I didn't
Dollhouse
even know
I
they
got.
existed.
Dollhouse was great. It was a great 90s schlocky fun horror movie. I loved Dollhouse.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original yet, but I am watching it this month. The only one that I've seen is the Ryan Reynolds remake from 2005.
I like that one too. But
Yeah,
the original is pure 70s creepy atmosphere.
I'm looking
But
forward to watching it.
you're going to love 2. 2
Yeah,
almost kicks its ass all the way.
I need to
2
get
is a
it. I don't
fan
even own
favorite.
that movie. Does it have some kind of a special edition? Scream Factory do
Well,
that one?
you're going to have to go fishing to find it because it's out of print, but there was a 3-pack of Amityville 1, 2, and 3, and they actually made the Blu-ray for 3 a true 3D because the movie was obviously Amityville 3D, and they made it a true 3D Blu-ray if you happen to have the capability for that.
Yeah. Um,
So
Most underrated horror franchise. Mm, I would say for me, probably, I don't know. I was gonna say Paranormal Activities because I think people are too hard on those movies, like especially in the horror community. But they're not really underrated. They made shit ton of money when they came out. But
yeah, I would agree with that. I would probably go. Here's the thing: like when I underrated, it's just like the
it's
term I
hard
see
to.
it
It's so
used.
subjective.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, I mean, some of those Omen sequels are really good, but I'm sure there's
I love The
thousands of
Omen
people.
2 when I watched it. I
Yeah,
was like, this is better than the first one. The first one to me is
yeah.
boring. I don't like the first one that much. I watched the second one. I was like, this is cool. I like this one.
The elevator scene was great, but
Yes.
I'm sure there's thousands of people that like those movies. So am I right to say that it's underrated? Probably not.
Yeah.
Um, and with like Paranormal Activity, it's like, is it underrated or does everybody have an opinion on it and just a lot of people don't like it? Does that constitute it being underrated? Maybe not. I just think that there's more people that dislike the movies than like the movies. So if it's something that nobody talks about in general, that's what I'm trying to think of in terms of, oh,
Yeah.
this is underrated because it's not talked about, period.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Do you have a favorite slasher film from the 1700s? And he's asking for movie buff.
Oh man,
Back in the
check the
George
Dead Sea
Washington
Scrolls.
days. Uh, CHH, as a fellow lover of H3, I've recently decided that it is canon to H1, 2, 4 through 6. The Sam Hain Stonehenge aspect goes with the Thorn trilogy to me.
You should watch the episode. I'm not trying to just promote my channel, but Adventures in the Nerd Cave.
That's why you're here,
Please
man. Promote away.
watch on my channel. I do a podcast on Sundays called the You Need a Horror
Yep.
Podcast, and we just did an episode talking about all the wild and funny fan theories that Halloween
Christian had a
fans
pretty
have
good
made.
one too to kick off the show. I did watch that.
It was dark, but I have a buddy that he swears to me up and down that Halloween 3 is part of the canon, and it was done in a good light. We were having fun. We weren't making fun of the theories. We were actually I wanted them to all work. I was trying to figure out a way to make them all work. But
Yeah.
check that out. You'll get a kick out of that because there is a H3 theory about how it's canon with everything. So,
yep, definitely. Yeah. Cal Daly says, watch all the Terminators, love them all. Of course, 2 and 1 are the best, but 4 is underrated one. I wanted to see the war storyline. Also, the TV show, best thing they made since T2. I never watched the TV show, actually.
I will say that I do enjoy Salvation. It finally did something different. The only thing I would have taken out was the one damn scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You didn't need it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a great movie.
I remember seeing that in theaters. I have not seen it since.
I enjoyed. Me too. I saw it in theater. I take that back. I've got it on DVD. I'm sure I've watched it a couple times.
It's one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought. I just haven't watched it since I got it.
Yeah, I think it just gets points for finally doing something else, and I respect that. So I do.
Cal Daly says, give us 3 movie recommendations to watch for Halloween. I'll let you take this one, Christian. Even though you might have a video of this up on your channel.
I would come up with a different list every day if I did it. Okay, let's go off the grid. No Fridays, no Nightmares, no Halloweens, no Texas Chainsaws, no Child's Plays, no Leprechauns. We're gonna do deep cuts.
Deep cuts, no hits.
The Boogans. The Boogans, it's like a creature feature from the early 80s. Then, how about we go ahead and watch Vamp, which is a great 80s vampire movie starring Grace Jones as a vampire. Sounds crazy, but believe me, she's great in the movie. And then, let's end the night with something really wacky. Let's do Frankenhooker, the great
I've been
Frank
wanting to see that for
Henenlotter film.
so long. I have not seen it.
It's my favorite Frank Henenlotter film. And then for one bonus, guys, let's go ahead and drop in 1991's Popcorn, a really cool slasher flick that Scream really, you'll notice some similarities in the story with Scream. And
I had that in my cart for the last Synopsis film sale, and I went away. I got out of it for a little bit and came back an hour later to purchase it, and it was gone. So I didn't get to get it.
Now you learned your lesson. It's actually a really damn good little flick.
Yeah, I've heard some really great things about that one.
So there you go.
Griffin Gang says, I just heard CHH do a Donald Trump as Pinhead impersonation, and I'm here for it. To the person that's never seen Phantasm, what's it about? I watched the trailer, but still couldn't place it. It's a hard movie to pin down what it's about. Like, I just watched both of them, and I still can't pin down what it's about. It reminded me of Beetlejuice when I watched it, how they went into the other world and stuff.
Yeah, you could relate it to almost any damn film. It's about a grave-robbing, alien tall man monster demon guy who sucks blood with these sphere balls that stab you in the head, takes your blood out of it, takes your body, harvests your body, digs bodies out of graves, and is building a dead army. And it's about this kid who doesn't want to move away from where he's living with his brother.
Jawa army.
So there you go.
That scene where the sphere attached itself to the head for the first time, like that draining scene lasted forever. It was ridiculous. Yeah. In the first one. Owen says he's watching Wayne's World. Took a break from horror movies. You like the movie Wayne's World, Christian?
Oh, dude. My Alice Cooper's in my top 5 bands ever, so I love watching that movie just for the Alice scenes. But yes, I do love Wayne's World.
We're not worthy. That's anything like my favorite Chris Farley.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
anything with Al Bundy in it is money to me. Because I love Married with Children, so I love
What'd you say
seeing him
about
in
the
that movie.
donuts? I swear to God, as I get older, it's so hard for me to think back in quotes. So I used to be so good at quoting movies, and it's like I
Oh,
probably could
me
have quoted
too.
that scene like to a T 10 years ago. I don't know if it's my old age, but he's talking about cutting into the donut and the steam coming out, comparing that to a dead body or something. Forget exactly what he says, but it's pretty great. Your favorite horror film for the 40s?
Jesus Christ.
You go back that far yet?
If Cat People was in the 40s, then it's Cat People. I can't remember if that was 40s or not, but I watched the original because I freaking love the 80s remake. So I was like, let me watch the original Cat People. I want to say that was the 40s. If it is, then it's Cat People.
Yeah. Random brown dude says, I got a crazy hypothetical for y'all. God forbid it ever happens, but if the horror rooms were to come ablaze all of a sudden, what's the one thing you would try to salvage out of everything? It's got to be the
Probably that
baby
baby.
Freddy, right?
Probably the baby Freddy.
That thing is the
Yeah,
coolest thing I've ever seen.
he's
Uh,
creepy, man.
yeah, I loved it. Mausoleum for Vinegar Syndrome is awesome. You can't get that anymore, can you? Didn't that
Um,
go out of print or something? I
I
feel
don't
like
know
that
if it went
was
out of
hard to.
check Orbit DVD and Grindhouse Video and all. Check those. Sometimes they usually have some stock. I got mine from Orbit DVD because it wasn't available on Amazon at the time. But Vinegar Syndrome, they may have run out of their print for it, and they'll may do another run because I don't know how they get their labeling if they have timed releases or one run. I don't know how that stuff typically works with them, but
Yeah,
Mausoleum seems to be something they've had for a while. I would just keep check those other sites to don't pay extra for it, but it is a good movie. It's a good movie, but don't pay extra for the Blu-ray.
yeah. Don't pay. I think I
Gorgeous
saw it for like
poster.
$200 or something at one
Yeah,
point.
gorgeous poster art for that movie. It's
Yeah.
amazing, the poster.
Backroom Horse says, Christian, tell him to watch Spookies. Spookies pretty good.
Oh Jesus, it's one of the greatest bad it's good movies from Vinegar Syndrome. The documentary on how that movie got made is riveting. It's like a feature-length documentary on the Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. Definitely one you need to have. It's the
Awesome.
greatest monster movie, werewolf movie. There is a water mermaid gremlin monster in the film. It's beautiful. It's the greatest movie I've ever seen. I love
Damn.
spookies.
I need to get that then. Please
Yes.
share your thoughts on the Blair Witch Project. Love that film. I like the Blair Witch Project, but I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch, I watched a lot of slashers and stuff that was a little bit more in your face, I guess, with the horror, and Blair Witch is a little bit more subtle. And then you get to the ending, and it's like, what the hell is that? I just remember thinking that when I was like 13 or 14 watching it. I love it now, though.
Yeah, Blair Witch scared the shit out of me first time I watched it. I mean, it did. It
Yeah.
got me. So I have to give it credit for that.
Favorite Friday the 13th movie? You just posted a ranking, didn't you? On your
Yeah, I, I
Instagram?
think I think the final chapter is the best, but I mean favorite. Let's say somebody said, look, I'm taking your Friday movies from you. I'll
Jason
let you
Takes
keep."
Manhattan, right? Isn't
Well, here's the thing. Let's just say this is the scenario, okay? Let's say this is the scenario. Hey man, this guy's got a gun pointed at me. I'm taking all these movies from you. You can keep one Friday the 13th movie, but the rest are coming with me. Which one you keeping? If I had to go it that route, it might be Jason Lives because I freaking love Jason Lives. It could be Jason Takes Manhattan.
And shout out to you interviewed the director of that movie too, right?
That was amazing.
I
But
was there live that night when you were doing it. That was a
but
great.
look, I mean, eh, how do you not love this? I mean, I would I would probably keep Jason Takes Manhattan because this is probably one of my favorite pieces in my collection. I mean,
Does
look how disgusting.
That's
You know,
awesome, man. Does it make you as mad as it makes me when people complain about the fact that he's not in Manhattan for the whole movie? Like, how is he going to start off in Manhattan? Like, he has to get there. There has to be the journey of the movie, and
well,
he's also in
here,
Manhattan for like 45 minutes. I don't get why people complain about that movie. I love
let,
that
let,
movie.
let me put this up and I'll give you my spiel.
Okay.
10 years ago, I would listen to that and be like, I feel you. It's just tired to keep bringing that up. It's 2021. These movies are more popular now than they've ever been. I get it, but judge the merit of the film. It's the same thing with Halloween 3. And a lot of the people in this chat have been really great about this. They were like, yeah, I think the one person who just said that they watched it and didn't like it, they judged the content of the film. That's all I can ever ask for.
Yeah.
If you don't like it because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it, it's just like, well, what if no? I'm not asking you about Michael Myers. I'm asking you about Halloween 3. Did you like the movie? Yeah, I didn't like it because it didn't have Michael Myers in it. I didn't ask about Michael. Did you like the movie? Tell me, you know what I'm saying? It's tired at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
asking you
answer
about
I
the
would have gave you when
contents
I
of the
was
film.
10.
And that's fine. Like I get that,
Yeah.
but it's just tired at this point. It's like be original. Don't say, "Oh, Jason Takes Manhattan sucks. He's not even in Manhattan." Just judge the content. I get it. It was a flub. They were going to make the movie in Manhattan, but the jackasses didn't want to put money into the movie. So then instead of going back to the drawing board and pushing the film back a year, they just said, "Screw it. We're going to try our best to make this work while penny pinching." It is what
Yeah.
it is. The movie
I
is the
like the
eighth.
boat though. Like I like him on the boats. Like I think it's claustrophobic. Like he's picking them all
Yeah.
off. Like I think it's a
It's
good setting.
it's so fun. I love the movie. Is it the best in the series? Far from it. It's not the most well made at all. But
Yeah.
it's fun. Like, but if you don't like it because you don't like it, it's not that I need people to like it. It's just please, it's just so old to hear, "Oh, it sucks. Why is this movie called J6 Madden?" Do I need to explain it? I'll explain it to you right now. When people say that, why is this movie called? Well, this is what happened. They were going to make the movie bubble. It's just like, do you not know, or are you just saying that because you hear everybody on the internet say that?
Yeah.
Just say something else. Be original. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not saying this chat has been amazing and lovely. These are great people. Nobody in here has done anything that I'm talking about. But
Yep.
this. All the people in the chat, they watch reviews, they watch stuff. It's just like, God, you got to get annoyed just hearing the same thing from everybody
Yeah.
over and over again. Be original. Think of something else to say, for God's sakes.
And it's like I
Thank you.
watched most of these movies in an age when the internet didn't really exist, and I didn't even have it in my house, and I just enjoyed them for what they were. And I always remember loving Jason Takes Manhattan. I remember loving Jason Goes to Hell. Like those are some of my favorites. And it wasn't until I got like online that I was like, oh, everybody hates these.
Yes.
I'm on an island out here. But yeah, Liam Neeson, Bruce Willis, or Nicolas Cage.
Nick
I
Cage,
got to go
baby.
Nick Cage. Yeah, yeah.
He's won me over.
Yeah. I got a question for CHH. Is there a Scream Factor release you hate because in every video you say it's the best?
Let's see. Do I hate any? Not hate. But there are certainly some that I just don't watch that often anymore.
It's not a bad one I've seen, really.
I'm a big fan of the label. I mean, I do think that they're not necessarily slipping in quality, but I do think that they're becoming much more of a conglomerate. Let's just put all the stuff out at once, as opposed to let's take a little bit more care and detail for the horror fanatic that is going to really appreciate this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
let's make a documentary for this movie instead of getting these snippets of interviews. Let's put this all together and make it this cohesive thing that tells this beautiful story. They used to do that. They don't do that anymore, which I do wish they would.
Yeah, just the stuff they're doing is incredible. I didn't even realize all this stuff was going on until like 5 years ago. Like, because I just wasn't in the physical media world like I am now. I always loved movies, but I wasn't collecting like I am now back 5 years ago. So like learning about Scream Factory and Arrow and, Criterion, some of these other labels has just been so awesome for me over these past few years. Some of this work that they've been doing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, Elvira got a box, and I bet it won't sell as much as Deadly Friends.
You may be totally right. And why did Elvira get a box? I don't know. That's a great question. Like Creepshow got a box. That makes sense.
So you're
Creepshow, for
saying
God's sake.
it got the box? Elvira got the box?
Creepshow. I mean, yeah, Elvira apparently got a hard shell box. I'm shocked by
really?
that.
I did not know that.
I don't think it. I like
Is
Elvira. I
Creepshow
like
the only one that got it before that?
If memory serves, like that, I think so. I'm trying to think if there was one like that before, but I can't think of it. but Elvira sure as hell got, that box. I watched the trailer for the movie and I was just like, I don't think I need to buy this right now. You know, so I passed on it, but I was like, wow, this is it's coming in a hard shell box. I'm shocked about that. I can't believe that I quite honestly couldn't believe that it got one.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea. It almost makes me want to buy it now. Cal L says, "Can you rank the Leprechaun films? Do you think you could do that? Are you a big Leprechaun
Sh-
fan? I don't feel like I've heard you talk
I'm
about Leprechaun too often."
I'm definitely ranking those films on my channel, but screw it, I'll do it right here, right now. Number one for me is actually the first movie. I love to death the first Leprechaun.
Yeah,
I would
talk
probably go
about a
number
big
3.
actor debut in a horror film. Jennifer Aniston, first movie.
Oh, she's so beautiful in that movie.
Yep.
She's so beautiful in that movie. She has like the night. I know this is gonna sound weird, and maybe it's just the camera that loves her, but she has like the nicest skin I've ever seen on a human being.
Yeah.
She's the most beautiful woman ever. The
And
first
she's
movie
so
is my
good in
first
that
favorite.
movie too. I think she's super
She
underrated.
she knew what she was doing, and it worked. Number 3 is number 2. Love the third one in Leprechaun in Vegas. Then I would probably go Leprechaun Returns that came out a few years ago. I loved Leprechaun
I haven't
Returns.
seen it yet.
Then I would probably go number 2, although I love number 2 as well. Some number 2 might go a little bit higher because I love Morty, the crazy old drunk bastard in that movie. Um, the Back to the Hood and To the Hood, I don't know. Leprechaun 4 in Space is one of my favorite space movies because it's so ridiculous. And then the Back to the Hood and To the Hood, those are my least favorites, but I'd have to figure out which one would go last or dead last. But I love the
Yeah.
Leprechaun films, man. Big fan. I wish I could get some props or something from the film, but it's hard to find
Yeah.
anything in relation to it.
I got that Blu-ray set. I have not seen. I watched them all when I was a kid. I haven't. Well, I didn't watch Back to the Hood 2, and I haven't seen the two most recent ones. But I used to love them when I was a kid. It's just been forever since I've seen them.
Yeah.
Puppet Master franchise is underrated. I watched the first Puppet Master a couple of years ago. I don't know. I could not get into that movie. I remember loving the
Oh
sequels when I
man,
was a kid, though. I think the sequels are better than the first one.
I got replicas of all them puppets, man. They're up
And I
there on the
love
shelf.
4 and 5 where they're fighting the aliens. I think those are always my favorite.
I love
Uh,
Puppet Masters.
Underrated isn't used in saturation as much as classic.
Yeah, everything's a classic. Everything's underrated nowadays.
Yeah. You gonna get the Friday the 13th Steelbook collection? I mean, I'm probably not.
I am definitely grabbing it. I don't need it at all. I already have in my head how I'm going to do the review for it. I'm going to make this funny like ad like if you or somebody you know suffers from Friday the 13th collector syndrome, call this number 1-800-Friday now. Call toll free. Like cuz I'm going to make it the silly thing. I don't need it,
It's
but
so
it's
ridiculous.
got Roy Burns on the back of it. I can't
Yeah.
help myself. Roy Burns is on the back of it.
Yeah. I mean, I still got my DVD set, so I'm cool with that.
I didn't grab the red set. The red set that just came out. I passed on that
Yeah,
because I was
because you knew
like,
the Steelbook was
Christian,
coming.
no, well, kind of, sort of. Like, I pre-ordered it, and then I was looking at my Scream Factory set, and I was like, this is the most beautiful set in the world. You don't grab that because then you're not going to want to use your set. You're just going to want to keep it on the shelf and just grab the other set as like your utility set, so you don't mess it up. Just leave it alone, Christian. That box set has the best discs. It's the greatest ever. Just use it. I'm like, all right. And then the Steelbook was announced, and I was like, oh shit, it's got Roy Burns on the back. But you don't need it,
Yeah.
Christian. And then the devil on my shoulder is saying, but it's got Roy Burns on the back.
Yeah. Awesome. Huck's Pop Culture Cafe says top 3 favorite horror actors. Mine are Bruce Campbell, Kurt Russell, and Robert Englund. I mean, you named 3 great ones right there. Do you have 3 other ones you would throw in there?
Brad Dourif. And I'm not talking about Chucky. I'm talking about movies like, Exorcist 3,
Halloween
which is
2?
probably one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. Is him in
God,
Exorcist
man,
3.
that's such a blind spot for me too. The first one's my favorite horror movie of all time. I still have not seen Exorcist 3. I was assuming it was a shitty sequel until
I'll
I feel like a lot of
let me,
people have been hyping that movie
yeah.
up the past few years.
Let me tell you something. And I don't like to guarantee that people are going to like a movie, but I will say this. Exorcist 3 is one of the greatest horror movies I've ever watched It is one of the scariest. It's got some of the greatest. Brad Dourif will make your jaw drop how good he is in this movie. You think you know Brad Dourif in Halloween 2. Obviously, I think you've heard me talk about this.
He's great in Lord of the Rings. I'll say that too.
Oh
As
yeah, he's the
Wormwood.
man. Him in Exorcist 3 will shake you to your core. I'm begging you. Stream it if you need to. Get
I
that
got to.
lovely Scream Factory disc. Lovely Scream Factory disc. It's going to change your life. It's by far and away my favorite Exorcist film. I love the first one. Exorcist 2, it is what it is. But The Exorcist 3, William Peter Blatty said, "Hold my beer. I'm about to show you guys that you think something's the greatest ever. I can top it." And in my opinion, it is the greatest Exorcist film. I love the original, but when I think Exorcist, I don't think Linda Blair. I don't think William Friedkin. I think William Peter Mother effing Blatty.
Now,
Check this movie out for me.
he wrote the novel, right?
And he directed that son of a bitch.
And he directed the third one. Like he wrote the original novel, correct? And
Yes,
then he came
yes,
back to
yes.
that's so like
He came
weird.
back and said, "Hold my beer. I'm about to show you MFers how it's done with
I've heard some
Exorcist
good
3."
things about it. You just hyped me up on
Oh
that
yeah.
movie. I might have to throw
Dude, it's
my watch list that I've already made out the window and watch it tonight.
I'm begging you. Somebody in the chat, please back me up on this. Please
Yeah.
tell this dude to watch this movie. I'm telling you, it's the real
So the
deal.
first one is my favorite of all time. I love that movie. It changes with me as I get older. Like it's so good. I love that movie. Thanks that Grace Jones sound cool, and thank you, Ken. You made me want to see Sundown Vampire Retreat. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, Vestron, good stuff.
Anyone here ever seen Junior? It's sort of like Porky's meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
No, I think he's talking about it was like a mid 2000s, just kind of blockbuster rental horror looking movie I would see on the shelf. I think I have it, but I've never watched it. I have seen the baby making one though, Junior.
Yeah. Shout out to Orbit DVD. That's my local spot. Just got in, bro. At work at the moment. No signal inside. Well, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. We are going to be wrapping up soon, though, because I don't want to keep Christian in here all night. He's a very busy man. So if you got any last minute questions, y'all can get those in now. Mama Blu-ray's in the house. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Mama Blu-ray. How you doing? Johnny Darko says, yeah, Blair, which is awesome and legendary. Does anybody own the Peanuts 4K collection? If you do, worth buying. I didn't even know Peanuts had a 4K collection. Do you have the Peanuts 4Ks?
I do not have the Peanuts 4K
I didn't know
collection.
it had it. Respect to Jason in New York. Watched it 4 times last week. Really? You watched the movie? I mean, I like the movie, but I don't know if I want to watch it 4 times in a week. But yeah, love Friday 5. Friday 5 was really good. I was surprised how much I liked that when I rewatched it last year.
So good and sleazy.
Yeah, it is. Like it was great. I was like, I know it's not Jason, but God, this is good. It's like one of my favorites. What do you think about Dog Soldiers? I have not seen that movie. Neil
It's
Marshall, right?
Dog Soldiers is great. It's really good. I don't frequent it that often though. If I'm gonna go werewolf, I'm going Howling 2. Because Howling 2 is probably the sexiest movie ever made. Sybil Danning, Jesus Christ. American Werewolf is great. Bad Moon from
I just watched Silver Bullet
96.
last week for the first time. I love that.
That's a classic. I mean, that is a great werewolf film. Some people dog on the practical effects, but I actually think that the wolf looks pretty damn good. I just think
Yeah.
the problem is when Rick Baker makes a werewolf, everything else is going to be inferior.
Yeah.
You know,
And it
so
doesn't
American
have
Werewolf,
that
yeah.
like classic transformation scene, I guess.
But
like the
dude, it's a
Howling one.
great story. I
But I
mean,
just like,
Silver Bullet is money.
yeah, I said it when I talked about it. I was like, this movie would almost be good if you didn't have werewolves in it. Like I would still enjoy watching it. I just like the
Yeah.
relationship between Gary Busey and Corey Haim, and I just liked all the characters in it.
Yeah. Amen.
Got to check out. Love both of your channels. Keep up the great work. End of line. Thank you so
done.
much, Don, for being here. Thank you for the rant. I was cheering hard as you said that. People copy and paste things to say, like we all know it's a popular thing to say. Nobody knows why they say it. Roof scene alone. I like the roof scene. I know CHH mostly loves rock and punk music, but I'm curious if he listens to any rap hip hop.
Yeah, I like I like some old school Ice-T. He did an album in '93 called Home Invasion that I listened to a lot. Um, I grew up on 50 Cent. I used to love that Get Rich or Die Trying album. I could probably still sing every word of it if somebody played it right now. I listen to it so much it's ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I do. I do.
Was Exorcist 3 actually Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite movie?
It was. He's he's
Really?
he's he's dead. He's dead. He's dead right.
How do people know what Jeffrey Dahmer's does he have did Jeffrey Dahmer have a letterbox? How does everybody know
No,
about
I
Jeffrey
remember
Dahmer's?
he got interviewed a lot, and
Okay.
naturally, but he loved Exorcist 3. He's got
That's
good
kind of cool.
taste. No pun intended.
Get the Arrow version on Exorcist 3. Awesome. I want to see Jason get attacked by a werewolf and become like Jason and stalk Crystal Lake only on full moons. That'd be
Maybe.
cool. When are you guys seeing Kills? I mean, when it drops on Peacock. I don't know exactly the time. I don't know if they'll actually drop it Thursday night or if they're going to make us wait till like 3 a.m. Friday morning or something. But
Who
whenever it
knows?
drops, I'll watch it.
Who freaking knows?
Alex says Exorcist 3 is criminally underrated. I like the theatrical version the best. Those reshoots don't bother me. Brad Dourif is Oscar worthy, but they don't give those out for horror. Yeah. Didn't Jodie Foster get an Oscar for Silence of the Lambs? Or am I
I
making
think
that up? I know the movie
no,
won.
no. Silence of the Lambs, I think it swept
Yeah, I thought
all
it
the
did.
awards.
I know Ellen
Great.
Burstyn was nominated, but I don't
I
think she
love that
won.
movie so much. Jesus Christ. Silence, dude. That sometimes I just think there are some universal truths with horror, and Silence is like got to be one of them. That movie's
Yeah,
so damn good.
it is. Let's see. Best John Cazale movie?
He's great. All of them are good.
They're all great. I don't know who he's talking about. Exorcist 3 is nothing short of a revelation. Awesome. Well, Christian, I got a couple questions for you right before we get out of here. And one that you kind of answered a little bit earlier. But I was just going to ask you, what are some of your favorite movies outside of the horror genre? I feel like I heard about all of your favorites in the horror genre because I've watched tons of your content. So I want to know what's outside of the horror genre. What movies do you love?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. There are times where I'm very upset that I boxed myself in on my channel, and it's a horror channel, but I'm so deep into it. I've gone for so many years. I just suck it up. I thought about making another channel to where I could just talk about whatever I wanted, but I was
Yeah.
like, I barely have time for this one as it is. And then when I thought about just making my channel go in that direction, nobody wanted me to do it. So I was like, well, damn. But with that being said, I do love. I get attracted to actors, and when I find an actor that I like for a movie, I try to watch a lot of their filmography. Michael J. Fox is a guy I'm a really big fan of, so I've read all his books. Great human being. Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies. Period. It gave me my love for
Yep. I agree.
um, Huey Lewis and the News. It's top 5 bands. I love Huey Lewis. I'm a big Chevy Chase fan. I love Chevy so much that I actually named my dog Chevy Chase. I have a Boston Terrier named Chevy. Funny Farm is one of
Awesome.
the best comedies I've ever watched. It's called Funny Farm from '88 with Chevy.
Yeah, I have not seen
So
it. I heard about
funny,
it though.
so clever, so funny. Obviously, Vacation and Caddyshack and all that are great. Love Ghostbusters. Big Stallone fan. I've watched everything Stallone did. Big Stallone fan. I love movies he's done like Daylight, which are really cool end of the
I
world type
love
flicks.
Daylight. That is one of my favorites from him.
Yeah. Jean-Claude
What
Van
about
Damme, huge Jean-Claude fan. Huge Jean-Claude fan. I've seen almost everything the son of a bitch has done. So, what were you going to ask me? I'm sorry.
were you big Rocky fan? I imagine you are being a Stallone
Oh
fan.
yeah, Rocky 3 is my favorite, which surprises
God,
people,
I love that you just
but
said that. I
here
always
here
say that it's
here
better to me than 4. Like, and I always get so much shit about it. But like 4 to me is
well,
like
yeah.
I love
Go
4, but
ahead.
it's like on the bottom tier of my Rocky films, to be honest. Like it's probably that's my second least favorite. It's like
When I
5
need
and then 4.
motivation, yeah, when I need motivation, when I am not feeling like exercising or I don't feel like doing anything, I put on Rocky 4. It will get me off of my
Yeah.
ass.
It's a great
Uh,
soundtrack.
oh, it's amazing. But the thing I love about 3 is, I mean, we all it's like we all this the relatability to the first film is amazing, right? Because we're all an underdog. We all see ourselves as the person that nobody really believes in us. We're out here, we're on our own. I get that. But I love about 3 is, you know, it's trying to stay on top, but also dealing with the loss of somebody that's so important to you, and knowing that I just love 3. I think Mr. T would have
Clubber
kicked
Lang.
Drago's ass. Clubber
Yes, he
Lang
would
would have
have.
kicked Drago's ass. I don't care what nobody says.
I agree,
I'm the best
man.
in the world. Ugh!
I agree.
Ugh! I love 3. I love 3. Cobra. I'm a big Stallone fan. But I love comedies. Comedies. I'm a big comedy fan naturally. For being a horror comedy fan, I love comedies. Uh, just a lot of stuff, man. Like I watched everything everybody watched growing up. I loved Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, Ace Ventura. Uh, I watched everything what we all did when we grew up. So I love it all, man. I really do. But I have certain actors that I love. So Chevy Chase, my favorite comedian. Michael Fox, Stallone, Van Damme. Love that kind of stuff.
Yep. Right there with you, man. Outside of the big three, Nightmare, Halloween, Friday, what would you say are your top three horror franchises? Taking those ones out.
um, Paranormal. I'll die on that hill.
Awesome.
Um, for better or for worse, I like a lot of the Conjuring films.
Did you like the new one?
It was my least favorite of the 3.
Yeah, for sure.
I take that back. Strike that. Let's take that out of there. Conjuring's not gonna be in my top 3. Screw it, dude. I love Leprechaun. I really do. They're all just ridiculous, but I do
Yeah.
love Leprechaun. So I actually want to put Leprechaun in there. And I would probably have. I mean, since you said the big 3, you said Michael, Jason, Freddy. I mean, dude, I'm a massive Texas Chainsaw fan. I'm a Southern
Yes.
boy. So that's got to be in there. But to me, it's the top. I respect and I appreciate the question. To me, it's like the top 4. Leatherface is in the equation, but
Yeah.
he is the 4th out of he is. If there was an order, 9 times out of 10, people are gonna have Leatherface as number 4. So,
Yeah.
but
And
I
there's
would
some
have
that would probably
Leatherface
put
to be in there.
that some would probably put Ghostface and Scream in there, but
Sure, and I respect the hell out of that. The younger generations from us, like a lot of people, like a lot of teens right now, they have really gravitated towards those movies, like the Scream movies. A
yeah,
lot of these, I say kids, I'm not that, I'm 30, but like a lot of like early 20s or late like teenagers, they are loving these Scream movies. They know them chapter and verse. They have grabbed the next generation, and it's really cool to be honest with you. Like I appreciate that. I think that's cool.
it's kind of like the kids of the
So,
'90s and the early 2000s discovering Halloween.
yeah, yes, that's
Yeah,
probably what it really is, you know?
yeah. Do you collect in other genres? I know you have a great
Yes.
horror collection. You have the horror shelf. You have all the horror collectibles. But do you have a special shelf for other genres, an
I
area?
have thousands of non-horror movies on physical media, thousands. I have collected movies for the better part of my life, damn near. Horror, not as long, but, like, horror, I guess, 11 years or so. I have I have boxes of movies. My living room is everything that's not horror, and my 4K movies because my 4K collection isn't vast yet. But so I keep
Yeah.
all that in the living room, and then we have closets and drawers that are filled to the brim with boxes, and I have about maybe 7 or 800 laser discs. So I've got a lot that I collect that is all genre.
How many movies would you say you have in your collection? This is the
Jesus
world's biggest
Christ.
collectors. So you saying you got
I
thousands of movies, you definitely. But I want to see if you're the top dog of this show that's ever been on here before.
Okay. I'm trying to like, so I've got a shelf right here that's filled with movies. I've got two right here that are filled with movies. Then I've got this wall over here with movies. Now these are supposed to hold 750 each. These
Yeah.
two back here, and they're filled to the brim. So that's well over 1,000 movies right here, right here. I've probably got another 500 right here, easily, and about a 250 more right there, and that's horror. I got about 700 laser discs because I've got those cataloged, and I have. I mean, I'm not. I could be. I don't think I'm underselling it. I probably have at least 1,000 more DVDs and Blu-rays of non-horror movies. So I have a lot. I can't display them all, especially the non-horror stuff, but it's a lot. I probably have in total 3,500, maybe almost 4,000 movies in this house. It's ridiculous. And my shed. I've
Awesome.
got boxes of movies in my shed.
Awesome, man. And the last question I'll ask you is when did you really get into collecting physical media, and what is it about collecting physically that drives you to continue in the age of streaming? Everybody's streaming now. What keeps you going with the physical media?
The connection to the film that I just still covet. I feel very connected to it when I own it. I feel like I have some sort of a proprietorship of it, I guess, to where nobody could dictate to me. No internet provider, no streaming service can dictate to me when and how I watch it. I watch it when I want to watch it. If I own it, especially with horror, especially, I mean, look at all of us. We all own these Halloween movies 10 times over.
Yeah.
But there's this ceremonial, there's truly a ceremonial feeling that we get when a new release comes out of these films that a lot of horror fans on the internet, they'll fight, they'll argue. They don't know each other. I'm sure they would be friends in real life, but they fight and they argue over this and that. But some stuff like Halloween, we can all rally together, and even the people that were like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Scream Factory's milking us." A lot of them still bought it anyway. But we get them, and it's this ceremonial, lovely feeling. It's this great time to be a horror fan. We all feel connected a little bit more when a movie like Halloween gets this gorgeous release again. Those moments are amazing. I really feel it. I feel it in my bones. It's a great feeling when the A Nightmare on Elm Street box set inevitably happens, because it's going to happen. It's
Yeah.
going to.
Let's
It's
hope
not.
it does.
It's going to happen, and it's not for a
I,
lack of
I said
trying.
I'm not grabbing the Blu-rays until they come out with a set, because I'm gonna rock my DVD set back there until it comes out.
Yeah, damn right. Because that DVD set, I've got it too. It's great. When that happens, I'm. It's there's a sense of validation to you personally when there's a movie that you love that gets the collector's treatment. There's this feel, especially when, like, if there's a movie you love, like when I found out Return of the Living Dead was gonna get a collector's Blu-ray, and that's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's weird, but in a sense, in my head, it was like I was right. Damn it, that movie is good because it got the treatment. God damn it, it got that collector's treatment that says this is a prestigious horror movie. And here it is with the best release it's going to get. With Scream Factory did an amazing job on that. So, but to get back on track, what I don't like what's going on today, and I'm not going to get political, but I don't appreciate the censorship, and you're seeing episodes of The Simpsons being edited out completely on streaming
Yeah.
services. You can't watch them. You're seeing movies that can get a little bit of traction on Twitter. Oh, this person uses the F word in the movie, and I'm not talking about the FUCK where I'm talking about a derogatory term for a homosexual person that
Yeah.
needs to be taken out. I'm not saying it's okay to use those words. It's not right. I get that, but to take a film that you love and now it's going to be banished, you better own that movie, because otherwise it's going to be a lot harder to see it. So physical media is the only way to give yourself ownership of a movie, to say, this, I am in charge of when and how I watch this movie. You gonna come to my house and try to take my disc and say, hey, let me give you an edited version of that movie because that word is offensive, we can't use that no more? I don't think so. Physical media is, I mean, we're getting to a point, guys, where you got to buy these damn movies you love. I'm telling you, you have to buy them because they're going to change this. Some of these movies, they're going to get changed. Do you want them to change your favorite film? Do you want them to edit something out of your favorite film? I don't think you do. You don't have to buy everything, but buy the stuff you love, man. And I love horror, so you're damn right, I buy a lot of it.
And it feels like
So,
that's the genre they might come for first in some aspects. I was so glad I had Gone with the Wind though on the shelf last year when that whole controversy
oh, I
first broke out.
slipped over to Walmart and I went, got the last one.
Yeah, that thing
Got
was
a boost
going
in
for.
DVD sales that
I wish
month,
I
huh?
would have sold it though, because it was going for like $100 on eBay at that time, and then I saw it at Walmart shelves like 2 months later on Blu-ray
Yeah.
for $5. But yeah, that was a great answer, man. I could not have said it better myself. And yeah, I think we're at the end of the show, and I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm gonna give you um, one more chance to kind of promote yourself and your channel before we close it out. And again, man, I appreciate so much you coming on, spending your time with me here tonight. Appreciate everybody watching us. 70 people in here right now. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely subscribe to Christian Hanna Horror if you haven't already, and follow him on Instagram. But here you go, sir. The floor is yours once again.
Well, thank you everybody for watching the show tonight. Thank you for Ken for having me on. I had a great time. If you want to follow me, my YouTube channel is Christian Hanna Horror. You can find me on YouTube and just do a lot of Blu-ray. If you like physical media, God knows I do a lot of it. You know, I've got some stuff to review. I was going to review this, but I'm not going to review it until I get the correct discs. I love talking to people about movies I love. That's really the root of my channel. There's nothing wrong with people that do reviews about. There are certain people that they review movies and people build a kinship with what they think. I've never been a person that reviews stuff I don't like because I never wanted to have the responsibility of telling somebody not to like a movie because I didn't like it, and then they've eventually watch it and then they love it. I don't want to deprive somebody of that. So it's never been my route. So if you come to my channel, if I review something, it's probably because I liked it a lot. But that being said, I love physical media. I love talking horror. I love Elm Street, Return of the Living Dead. If you like those movies, we'll get along just fine. But you can also find me on social media, Instagram. You can find me at Christian Hanna Horror. You can find me on Twitter at Horror Hanna. You could look me up on Facebook. You can contact me there if you want to, and I'll find it. But I don't use Facebook often. So yeah. I thank you, Ken, again for having me on, man. It's been very fun.
Thank you for
Yeah.
coming on, man. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of your channel. I've been for about a year now, and yeah, I worked up the courage to ask you to come on, and I didn't know if I wasn't so sure if you would accept the invitation, and you did, and you're here in October, so it couldn't have worked out any more perfect. And yeah,
We'll
guys,
talk
I
about my
definitely,
payment soon.
yeah, I cannot oversell you enough. Your channel is awesome. I love your positivity. I love your energy. That's what draws me to your channel.
Thank you.
I
Thank
don't
you.
like the negativity either. I don't like talking about stuff I don't like. And yeah, I just love the casualness of your channel. And just seems like it's just a very chill atmosphere, and it's just a fun place to go and listen to some cool people talk about horror. So yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. I think we're up to about 90 people at one point. So
Oh
appreciate
wow.
you guys hanging out with us. Definitely hit the like button if you're watching on the replay. Subscribe, follow Christian at all of his links, and comment down below if you have any comments on anything that we discussed tonight. And we'll see y'all later.